Welcome to the Power Play YouTube channel. Open mic number 150. 150. Isn't that crazy? Sorry, I got to turn my TV down. There we go. Hope everyone's doing well today. Wherever you're located in the world. It's obviously later evening or early evening, 6 o'clock here in my part of the United States, and we have people from all over, and we truly appreciate your coming and supporting and listening to these old phone calls. I listened to several today, not necessarily the ones we're going to play tonight. I did listen to some of those, um, but going back to the 2018 open records request that Ricky got originally, and it's crazy, and I'll talk more about that here in a minute. But not to waste any more time, let's let everyone on the panel say hello, and then we'll talk for a minute, and then we're gonna introduce or say hello to everyone in the live chat, and then we're gonna get going. So first up, we have the magnanimous Andy B.
Thank you very much, Jack. I hope everyone's well. And let us get another open mic underway and let us solve this bloody thing. Thank you, and I hope everyone enjoys it.
If it were only that simple. Thank you, Andy. And Cherie, how are you today? Don't look up.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Open Mic.
All right, thanks for coming, Cherie. And just Rhonda, sister?
Hey, brother. Hey, everybody on panel. Andy B. I would argue that we have solved this bloody thing. Nobody wants to listen to what we have to say. So I say, screw them.
Don't tell
It's great to
anyone.
be here.
She's got a point. She's got a point, Andy B.
Yeah, we have, but we haven't got the handcuffs around them yet, have we? That's the problem.
That's
Yeah.
and the gates have not been unlocked. Yeah, you're right, absolutely right.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you, Just Rhonda. And Lady Neverly, back from your it wasn't jail, was it? I'm kidding.
No, but it was something close to it. Yeah, my weekend getaway was great. Yeah, thank you. But I'm so happy to be on this side of the United States, of the border. Yeah.
Oh, I bet. I mean, I've been to Mexico. It's been many, many years. Let's see, 43, 44 years. I was in Mexico City. I actually enjoyed it, but I was young. But it's a different world, that's for sure. That's for damn sure.
Yeah. But I'm glad I'm back, and I'm glad I'm on open mic.
Absolutely. We're glad to have you. We appreciate you so much for dropping by. And like I said, I know Doc is taking care of something, and he's going to be here soon. I can imagine Susan's probably at work or finishing work, and I would guess that she will be here before long if she's not completely wore out. So, Rhonda, can you say hi to everyone that's joined us in the live chat so far? And I'll do a couple things here.
Gotcha. Okay, we have Lola Blue Skies, and Katie did it, and she is part of the world. You are part of the world, Katie did it. And Dark Side of the Moon, who was on the open mic chat, but she left just a split second before Jack was ready to go live.
She bailed.
That's okay.
Come back.
She bailed on us. That's all right. It's okay. And of course, Jack is in the chat, and we have JD. Welcome back, JD. And Andy B is in the chat, and rumor has it, and Pete Moss. Hey, Pete Moss, how's it going? James Crane, and he thinks we should all make a movie. I'll play the bitch. Let's see. Ronald D. Cass from the Missouri Ozarks. Our William. Hello, our William. Veronica Clack, and James. Oh, I said James Crane. Oh, there's Cher. Hello, Cher. And let's, for right this moment, I think that's everyone.
Excellent. Got me taking a drink of coffee when you finished there, Mike.
Real quick, there's little Barb. Little Barb just popped in.
Excellent. Well, hello, and thanks to everyone that's joined us so far. So, like I said, and going through these calls, going the 2018 calls. It's been a minute since I've listened to many of them, but I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna kind of scan through, and it's just crazy going back to those calls because we have a date range, but that's it. There's no time. It's just track 1, track 2, track 3, track 4. It's insane what Larry Levina did in packaging those calls to strip away the actual metadata. Why he would do it. Why he would do it. Because that's extra work that didn't have to be done and shouldn't have been done, actually. Because metadata is part of an open records request. It is data that should be included. So, anyway, today, let me pull up my little handy note here. I didn't write too much because these calls, again, following along, they either cover several days in a time range, or they cover a single day over a number of hours. I think this first call here, you can see it. It just says 11/6. It doesn't give a time, and these calls were directly copied from the CD. This is the title that came with it, so we didn't change it. That's why we haven't really altered any of the calls that we do have that are, of some interest to a lot of people. But I think at this point, I'm probably going to start trying to go back through many of these calls that have some interest, extra interest, and giving them. I'm not going to remove anything from the original title, but just add to, like that conference call from 11/3 that Link and Colburn and Wiegert and Dettering, all those people were on. We listened to not long ago. Calls like that, I want to label, give it an extra label so it's easier to find. Besides going to the key calls list, which that one needs to be put in the key calls, and I haven't done it. So anyway, so this first call is from 11/6. I just got a few things here. One of them I've written down is Herman talks to Shatter. Herman calls Great Lakes Search and Rescue. And I know that there's more coming up later on another call about Great Lakes. And in fact, one of the first calls that I listened to in the 2018, it's not one, it's pretty close to the very beginning of the 2018 open records, is actually Great Lakes calling into dispatch at Manitowoc, offering service, just saying, we do this, we have dogs and, whatever, cadaver dogs and so forth, that offering services. And I think it was Katie, the dispatcher. She says, "Oh well, you're going to have to call Calumet. That's Calumet. That's Calumet's case." And I'm thinking, well, I know that the others. I don't remember if it wasn't Singlub, Lieutenant Syme or whoever the ship commander was that was told to call Great Lakes and get them on board. Actually, I think that's one of the calls that may be in this first call we're going to play, or this multi-track call we're going to play. This call, as you can see, is 1 hour and 17 minutes. The next one in the list is close to 2.5 hours. Now, if we get through all these, I'll be shocked because I'm not going to play it straight through. Anything of interest, please put a question, whatever, stop or whatever in live chat if you want something to be replayed. Anyone that's here in Discord, please stop me if there's something that you hear that you're not clear about or you want to discuss. Otherwise, I'll probably stop every few minutes or whatever, answer any questions, potential questions, whatever. and then we'll just see how it goes. This list of calls in the miscellaneous list, there's not that many. And I can tell you, after the 2.5-hour call, I think there's one more, maybe two more calls that's an hour or longer. And I think there's one call that's like 50 minutes, and then the rest of them are relatively short. There's not that many. There's just many calls in several of these multi-track calls. We had somebody else come in. Oh, it's Dr. Silkman. Woohoo!
Thank you, Jack, and welcome everyone. It's great to be here. Just having a coffee and some breakfast. Welcome.
Hey, thanks for coming, Doc. Yeah, it's dinner time here, and I actually made a coffee. I haven't eaten yet, of course, but I made a coffee myself before we got started. So I was actually just getting ready to start this first call, and I'll go ahead and get it rolling. Anyone that's here in Discord, obviously you're going to have to unmute YouTube, mute Discord, and unmute YouTube so we can hear. And again, if there's questions, just stop me, and we can go back and re-listen or whatever. So here we go.
Lieutenant Herman.
Herman is Fredberry calling.
Yes.
Good morning.
Morning.
Do you know whether anything was released by anybody having to do with the green SUV and the woman and all this stuff out at Avery's? It was like 9, 10 o'clock last night. Was there any new developments that overnight that was put out to the media?
No. Nothing that I have.
Anybody said whether this woman's body has been found?
They didn't release anything. They didn't tell me anything.
Okay.
As far as what's going on up there.
Yeah. Who's heading that up? The sheriff himself? I know the sheriff was quoted in the papers.
I didn't get any release as far as what's going on up there, Fred.
Yeah.
No idea. If I had something, I could give it to you, but I have nothing.
Okay, I'm just trying to fill in the gap.
Yeah.
For early morning.
I didn't even get a chance to see the news last night.
Yeah, I saw it on TV. That's.
They said they had a blip on there, but then.
If they found this gal's vehicle, gee, wouldn't you know, out there at Avery's junkyard. That's interesting.
I hope it comes to a quick conclusion, no matter however it is resolved.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I didn't get anything.
Wanted to check bright and early here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I was hoping somebody called, give me some information here pretty soon, but.
Okay. Well,
all right.
talk to the sheriff. Have him give me a buzz at the radio station.
Okay.
Thank you.
Take care, Fred.
Bye-bye.
Lieutenant Herman.
Hey, morning, Todd.
Hey, I'm just asking if you were still out there.
Oh, no. I went home about 7 o'clock. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to do... You don't have a key to get into...
I can't get into the administrative block there. I can get into your office, but I can't get into...
You can't get past the door.
No.
Okay, I'm going to come in and let me get a credit card. But I'm thinking right now...
I stopped it right here on purpose because when we got these calls last year, this became kind of a point of contention. He wants to come in and get into the administrator block, and I don't know what's there that he wants, but he's clearly told, like, I can't get in there. But then he says, makes the reference, I'm going to come in and get a credit card. Well, that, you can take that a step further for, a thief using a credit card to get around pushing over, some deadbolts. You can use a credit card to, potentially get in, or at minimum, a regular door using a credit card to slide it in the gap in between the door jamb and getting past it. I want to be clear. We don't know if that's what happened. He may just be coming to get a credit card to go buy something. So we have to be fair about that. And it's not really clear either way, like he's talking about. So people's imagination ran a little wild. I kind of thought that when I first heard it. I'm like, well, what the hell are you coming in at 5 o'clock in the morning? And I'll tell you the reason I know it's 5 o'clock in the morning because we have another call that's an excerpt of this call, and it is dated. It was dated when we got it. So that's the reason I know it's around 5 a.m. when this call comes in. And I'm pretty sure that it was Duke that was alerted that I had this person named wrong. I thought it was someone else, but I'm pretty sure he said it was Shetter. And after listening to several calls and the instructions that he gave here, I had to agree with him. So I changed the recording of the key call that we had. I fixed it. So much appreciation to his attention to detail and getting that right. So anyway, I just wanted to point that out before we, because it really became I got a lot of messages last year on this, a lot of DMs, a lot of conversation. It was in the chat, in the comments, so and on Reddit there was and I think some on Twitter about this. I'm going to come in and get a credit card. Well, okay, that's great. Are you going to try to jimmy the door? What the fuck, man? Any comments before I move? Yeah, please.
Can I just make a point? Yeah, I mean, in a lot of these calls and also in documents, you've just got to be a little bit careful not to overreach in some of the conclusions. Do you know what I mean? Because unless you have some form of corroboration, it's very easy to go off track. You know what I mean? Like about the credit card. Is he trying to somehow go into the office and jimmy the door? So you got to be very, very careful. You need a form of corroboration.
I agree. Totally agree.
To back up what Doc is saying, it doesn't make sense to me that he would come in and get a credit card to jimmy the door. It makes sense to me that if he was going to jimmy the door with a credit card, he would just bring his own credit card or driver's license. I've done it with my driver's license before.
I get it.
So, you know what I mean? Like, so I'm also listening to that with some caution, because I can't imagine that he would announce on a call that's recorded that he's going to come in and get a credit card, and then, with the unspoken intention of breaking into the room. That's just my opinion.
Well, those of us that are jaded, probably a little too far sometimes.
I know.
Reading too much horse shit into something that's not really there.
No, I mean, I remember when I first heard the call, I was like, yo, what? You're going to go get a credit card? And that's exactly what I thought the very first time I heard that. But after I, think on it and play it over in my mind a little bit, or play it over in my ears a little bit more, I tried to unjade myself for that reason. But
same here.
Yeah.
I think it was probably
especially when it causes a great.
I'm sorry.
Especially when it's causing a great deal of controversy, like it did.
Yeah.
So that's all.
Yeah, I think it was an innocent thing. I think he was coming in to get a, whatever department credit card to buy something. That's what I think. So anyway, all right. I'm gonna, unless there's anything else, anything in chat.
I was going to say, sorry, Jack 61. I agree with just Rhonda there. If you look throughout this case, those detectives and a lot of law enforcement officers were certainly buying a lot of things. They often had to go to hardware stores and buy tarps and other pieces of equipment. So, they would definitely put that on, say, a departmental credit card or something like that, and then claim it later. So I don't think there's anything nefarious in that at all. I mean, it sounds nefarious because of the hour and the fact that we know that in the clerk's office, of course, that's exactly where the blood vials were. So
that's right.
You put two and two together, right? But I don't think that was it. Yeah.
No, I don't either. I mean, he said it directly after about asking about getting into the administrative block. So it's right there. if he'd have said it later, hey, I need to come in and get the credit card, I think it would have been taken completely different. I think it was just circumstance. So
Yeah, correct.
I'm looking here before we start. Never says bulletproof tarps, of course. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna continue on. Here we go.
We just have Scott out there, correct?
Yeah, what is he, just security by the command post or what?
By the command post, something. If somebody needs something out there, I want to see somebody from Manitowoc County.
Sure. So I should work to get somebody for him at about 4 hours, 8 o'clock?
Well, I told him I'd be out there at 7.
Oh, okay.
What's your staffing today?
I'm down to 4. So I ain't going to be much good here.
I'm thinking what I'm going to need is, you know, when they were doing that log, today's going to be a real busy day. I think we should keep that up.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll need one person to control that entry point log. Let's shoot them to get there at, we can get somebody there at 7 o'clock.
They have 6. So they could spare 1.
Yeah. Confined affiliation commander.
Yeah.
Who's the other side?
Zach.
Brian? I need to get out of here. I'm getting like 3 people. They're going to have some evidence checks come in, which is fine. And then this guy can be for running or chasing down police, whatever. So, what time is it? 6 o'clock?
Yep. No, it's 5 o'clock. Holy man, your calendar is off.
See if I can, see if you can find somebody on their day off. Can work, you know, like probably be tell.
Oh man, he is, yeah. Yep.
Organize it for me. And then,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't know much, so you need somebody to go to this place or that place.
Well, I mean, they're constantly asking them. Yeah.
See if you can find another person on a day off.
So 2 day off people for about 8 hours or more.
Right.
10 hours.
10 o'clock.
10.
If they can get there at 7, and then maybe let Brian sleep until 6:30, and see if he can get out there by 8.
Okay.
So give him a call at 6 and tell him, you know, I just want him to try to get some sleep. So.
Okay, and 2 other people, I know Scotty had mentioned you kind of want to keep some supervisors out there, but if you got Brian out there, you don't necessarily care who comes out.
No, not for that. I want somebody to man the checkpoint, and then I'm thinking between Brian and the next one, you know, like last night they came up with an address on Xander Road. You know, we probably should have somebody check that out. Well, if Cal County needs to go there, they got to know where they're going.
Right.
So I got a deputy I can send with them, and you know, they have a radio with our communication.
How long was Cummings out there? She's on his day off too. I mean, I'll start at the top of the list.
Yeah,
okay.
He left. He'd be okay. The problem is then all of a sudden he gets his dog involved. That's the other thing I need to talk to people. Are you writing some of this down?
Yeah.
At 6 o'clock, let's page that Great Lakes search and rescue. From when I left last night, they're under the understanding they're going to be there. My understanding when I talked to them was that call us when you need us tomorrow. So I think Sheriff Pago wants them there. Tell them they can be there. They can be ready by 7:30.
The security, the command?
Yeah, we only want the
cadaver dogs?
Cadaver dogs. I think they got 4 or 5.
Yep.
So you could page them at like, that gives them an hour and a half.
Yep. Where are they mostly coming out of Sheboygan County?
I don't know. So
Let me
want to give them a little heads up too. Maybe
hold on 1 second. I think I may have their, I don't know if I still got their card in my drawer here. Hold on. Now let's get the... There it is, Great Lakes Search and Rescue. For a 24-hour call out, I got a 414 area code, so this must be Milwaukee. Cedar Grove.
So maybe we should give them a call and just say, I know it's early, but however you want to make your setup, but...
Be at the command post at 7:30.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's correct.
They got a 24-hour call-out number here.
Yep.
It's no problem.
Call.
Okay. So 2 persons by 7 and call them back for 8 o'clock. I'll give them what you said.
Yeah. Or if you give him a call at like 6.
Yeah.
And then whenever he wants to come in. And I just don't want to call him right now. Sure.
Okay, and then...
I think I'm going to come down there. I'm going to grab the credit card.
Okay, I'll be downstairs if you need something.
Okay, I'll stop in with you. You work on it while I'm moving around.
Sure.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks. Bye.
Yeah, I'll pause it right here for just a second, and I apologize if I didn't say it. I thought I did. This is 11/6. There's no time range, so it sometime in a 24-hour period. But we know that this call it begins early. This call is at around 5 a.m. We know that for sure from another call that is timed. You can look at the title there in this, the number, as I've explained before. We used to think way back in the day that they only had 2 call-in lines, 4201 and 4202. We found out last year they have a lot of call-in lines. And this one's 4224. There's a bunch of them. I don't have the exact list, but there are many of just the ones that we have. So I apologize if I didn't say it was 11/6, but it is. So this is the day after the rat was found. The cadaver dogs were clearly out there on the afternoon of the 5th. Great Lakes Search and Rescue is out of Milwaukee, so it takes them about an hour and a half to 2 hours to travel to Manitowoc. So this next call that you're going to hear is Herman calling their beeper number, their 24-hour beeper, for a callback, and this guy's going to call him back. And don't forget, it's not just cadaver and tracking dogs, it's also Eagle 3, their helicopter, that gets brought in and used extensively, which we hear very little about.
Jack 61.
Yep.
Can I just make the point, because you can hear that in the call. These guys were fairly calm, fairly level-headed, but the important point is the fact that there were a lot of dogs out on the property, on the Avery salvage yard and around the Avery salvage yard. They called in many, many dogs, both cadaver and scent dogs. So, from a investigative point of view, they did the right thing, right? They got in the dogs, they got them in early. My only gripe is that they didn't use them effectively.
No, they were ignored. They weren't believed. They were
correct.
It's like the dogs led them to where the dogs do their business, and then took steps to hide that.
Correct. And I think, I know that this discussion is not 100% in line with the telephone calls, but if you go one step back, you can see that these guys here were doing the right thing. They were calling in the canines. They were calling in the Great Lakes Search and Rescue. The question is, who higher up prevented the dogs from doing their job? And that's who we need to focus on.
Yeah, it's really frustrating.
I can see that I'm echoing, and I don't know what to do to fix it. But really quickly, the problem is that the humans got involved and didn't allow the dogs to do what they're trained to do. And so, when you're just letting the canines do what their job is, everything can be, I don't know, discovered or found out or excluded, or however you're looking for it to respond. But when you put a human in the mix, then then the canines are pretty much effectively, in a way, disabled.
Yeah, I agree. And another thing, Doc and everyone, it's like the dogs led them to various pieces of evidence that was buried, or at least highly minimized. I think that happened often, Doc. I really do.
Well, yeah, there's no question about that. But you can hear in the officers' voices that this sounded like a normal investigation, right? Nothing nefarious. Let's
That's
bring in
right.
the search dogs. Hey, the Avery salvage yard is a 40-acre lot. It's going to be very hard for us to check everything. Bring in the dogs, right? Which is the right thing to do.
Absolutely.
But as just Rhonda pointed out, the frustrating thing is, as soon as human beings are involved, they can actually either ignore or direct the dogs to go to certain locations and not to others. But everything changed on November the 7th, right, guys? As soon as
Absolutely.
Loof, Brutus, and the cadaver dogs started going elsewhere, Mickle's Quarry on the 6th and Cuss Road on the 7th, you could tell that things drastically changed in the investigation.
Yeah, thanks, Doc, for that. But, you know, this is also a reminder, at least for myself, I don't know if others can agree or disagree. We had probably 3 pivotal moments, these changes. Remember, from the 4th to the 5th, change of plans, the car, blah, blah, blah. I agree with Doc and probably several others. They got a tip that somehow that car has now appeared on the Avery salvage yard, and we got to get on there somehow. We don't have we don't have probable cause to get an affidavit and a search warrant. So let's get, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, Hogs and Nicole to head over there. I also think that the 5 friends of Teresa were also part of that search team. I don't know if they were specifically told to go to the Avery salvage yard, but by God, that's where they ended up. I still haven't. I need to look and see if I can find that newspaper clipping from the Herald Times or whatever. I'm sure that there's a clipping because I know I've seen it, that they're named in that newspaper clipping. And then, as Doc said, we have this change here on November 7th, Cuss Road. That changed everything. November 8th, manna from heaven, chip falls from the sky. It's a bonanza day for Manitowoc and Calumet. Well, voila! After November 8th, Manitowoc is done. They're ran off the fucking property. Boom. November 9th, Lieutenant Sipple calls and says, "Hey, boss," talking to Captain Rush at Calumet County, "I got a couple 5-gallon buckets full of human bones here, over here in the quarry. I need 40, 60 people to come here and help me search." November 11th, they bring in the bulldozers, basically the Bobcats, and destroy Avery's pit. Destroyed that pit completely.
To the ground. Completely to the ground.
They did. So, if you look at it from those circumstances, go ahead, Doc.
Oh, I was going to say, and you brought it out, Jack 61, beautifully, because there are multiple narratives which are happening and occurring in this story. You can tell from these phone calls which are the individuals who are genuine in their approach and those which are very, very dodgy. And remember how you played the call of Jason Jost when he was talking to another officer, and Jost was basically, he was basically shocked. What? You mean I need to document what I did? Now, isn't that very interesting?
It is, because it's like these. It's like Manitowoc was just allowed to do whatever and not document their daily events, and I just don't see how that. I don't know. I'm with you. I think this is a legitimate call. They're doing what they should do, calling these dogs, the cadaver dogs, at least at first, and then the tracking dogs. They had volunteers calling and saying, "Hey, I got a dog and I got a horse. I'm willing to come help you search." I think as I said yesterday in the reading with the crew, I think we're missing several dog handler reports. We just don't have them. I don't even know if they got submitted, but I almost think it might be worth the effort to write an open records request to Great Lakes Search and Rescue.
Oh, look, I reckon they would be. I reckon they would be amenable to give what they've got. But you have to admit, guys, what we do have is very troubling, and the mere factor that they did not include any of the bloodhound results and searches during the trial, and they only limited what Julie Kramer said. To me, that's extremely telling, guys. Extremely telling.
It is. The jury didn't get to hear it, and I think that's just like so many other pieces of evidence that the jury was prevented from hearing. And Judge Willis, I think he was also extremely misled, and he just believed, these three, well, at least one high-powered attorney, which was Fallon. Kratz had been there for many years in the service of Calumet County as a prosecutor. Norm Gahn out of Milwaukee, he'd been also a prosecutor for many years. So, I think he was extremely misled. Fallon and Gahn may have also been misled, but I don't think they were. I think they knew everything. So the jury got screwed. Willis, I feel positive, got screwed too, which of course that meant that Avery was going to get screwed, and Brendan. So, any comments before we continue on? Rhonda, anyone? Cherie, anybody see anything that we need to bring up before I continue with this next call? Okay.
Well, I hesitate to unmute because I don't know what to do with my problem. But anyway.
Oh, you're not, you yourself are not echoing. It's us. So you can just go ahead and talk and then just mute.
Okay. All right. Mr. President, welcome into the chat, by the way, has a comment, question. Why didn't any dog insist on going to where the RAV4 was found? If it was TH's, her scent would be there more than anywhere else at ASY. And if her dead body had been in it, that would be in there too.
Doc, you want to answer that?
Yeah. On November the 5th, Brutus did go to the RAV4. In actual fact, the Brutus hit twice at the back of the RAV4. And it's very interesting that Julie Kramer had made the comment that the RAV4 was not tarped at that stage. Remember how Ken Kratz said, oh, the dog put his head under the tarp, and as soon as the dog gave an alert, we knew that this was a homicide investigation. That's all bullshit. The tarp wasn't actually on the vehicle. So Brutus did hit twice at the back of the RAV4. We don't even know what Brutus hit. It could have been even A23 for all we know.
That's right.
Brutus wanted to enter the vehicle, but was prevented from going inside. And the scent dogs, when they were brought in, they also hit on they hit on the location of the RAV4. So we have Loof, who went to the maroon van where Teresa Horbach had taken photographs. And also we had Loof and I believe other scent dogs that went to the berm where the RAV4 was. So her scent was definitely there. So both cadaver and scent dogs definitely hit on where the RAV4 was.
Yeah, and I'm going to bring it up. I hesitate to bring it up, but I think we should just for a minute. And this is the fact of what you found out in your Neverly's research about the berm. And this is the fact that both the scent dogs scented with Teresa's scent and the cadaver dogs hit on the berm. And I don't understand how that can happen. I mean, there are different scenarios, but we have to guess. We have to speculate. And that had to be, to me, that had to be significant to these investigators and, Kratz and company. It had to be.
Not only that, but it also would have been extremely worrying because we're meant to believe that Teresa Horbach's cremains, and also we'll talk about it later, muscle tissue was present in the burn pit.
That's right.
This cannot be right because the investigator saw the dogs just go right past the burn pit and make a beeline for the berm.
That's right.
That's a real worry when you have both cadaver dogs and scent dogs both emanating towards where the berm was and also within the junkyard. Remember the how Redont had that structure, that metal structure that used to transport, I think, gravel.
Yes.
The cadaver scent dogs also accumulated at that region there. And guess where the 5 kittens were?
So
Right there.
Right there. Yep.
Right,
Wait. And,
right there. Right there. Correct.
and remember, Doc, that phone call I played last week? I'm not sure if you heard it, but Redont had told, I don't remember which officer, that he had let these 5 friends of Teresa in to search. He said, yeah, go ahead. It's in the phone call.
Correct. Well, that's the problem. That is the problem. Whatever those girls found had to be deep sixed, because their search would have been illegal. Because they did. Now they got permission from Redont to search the gravel pit, but
Yep.
they never got permission from Erdl to search inside the salvage yard. That's a huge difference.
Yep, it is. So again, we have people that crossed a property line boundary and didn't say anything or didn't ask for permission. Just like Search Team A went from the Redont quarry over into the area of disturbed earth. They Redont didn't own that. Anyway, yeah, all very interesting. But again, I think you're right on point. These guys are trying to do the right thing, get the dogs in, let them search. But the results of those searches, I think they use that against the case instead of using it for the truth. That's what I think. All right. Anything else, Rhonda? Anyone see anything that we need to discuss before I start up?
We have to thank Sister Just Rhonda.
Yeah, sweet. I saw that.
Yeah, everyone's welcome. I like to see everyone being able to participate, in any ways that they can. And some want to participate more and aren't able to. And at this moment, I had a few extra, so I wanted to share. No big deal. Yeah, you're welcome.
It's very generous. Thank you for doing that.
Oh, you're welcome. I've been gifted memberships before on other channels and in Foul Play, and I just think it's really nice. So I'm just trying to pay it forward if I can. Yeah, Mr. President has quite a few comments. There's a lot of comments in here about different aspects of the burn barrels and the scent dogs and all of those things. So it's kind of hard to. Mr. President says, thank you. Is that when Ryan was on the property after sleeping in her bed, living in her house, and handling her belongings? I think that's a good question.
Well, actually, that's not going to make any difference.
Okay.
If you saw that video of that guy trying to fool the bloodhound by getting the scent from others and transferring his scent to other objects and items and people, it didn't work. Right? The dog still made a beeline. The dog still made a beeline for him, because he has the strongest scent. So these dogs, the way they work is, once the scent is in their brain, they follow the scent until it gets stronger. So they follow the source. That's why they try and find the scent source.
Yeah, and then they do that until a command is given to break that, right, Doc? That's why they're trained.
Correct. So a dog can give an alert when the scent is the strongest, but also a dog can give indication to the handler the scent is getting weaker. There's no point in searching here.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yep. Excellent. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We, just briefly before I start back to Mr. President's point, there was a lot of conversation, probably I don't know, 3 years ago about contamination of Teresa's scent being contaminated, and this video that Doc's talking about, it completely changes. Well, it eliminates that possibility. These dogs are so finely tuned that it's not going to matter. So
Sorry guys, the other point is the dog works with the handler. The handler is just as important as the dog, because the handler knows whether the dog is actually on the correct trail, following the scent source, or whether it's confused. So the dog working with the handler is crucial. The dog just doesn't work by itself. It gives cues and commands both ways. So both the handler and the dog work in concert together. That's important.
yeah.
Jack.
Yep. Hey, is that Sister Susan?
Hey, it is.
Look at you.
That's so late today. Yeah. What's it, Wiegert and Fassbender that said to Stephen, I think on the 9th in their interview, that they figured he had driven on the berm and then into the pit that way?
I think so. I think that was part of that interview. It's been a while since I've listened to that one, but I think so. Doc or anyone, can you remember that
Yeah.
interview?
100%. It was November the 9th during Stevens when he got arrested for the gun charge. And Fassbender told him exactly how the RAV4 got placed on the property. And you know what was really damning? He said the dog smelled your scent. Now, notice what he said. The dog smelled your scent. I'm sorry. The scent dog was scented with Teresa Hallbach's scent, not
Yep.
Stephen Avery's.
That's right. These guys, I swear to God, I have to shake my head because it's so bad. It's so bad. Oh my God. I'm looking. There's another comment. I thought by Mr. President. Teresa. Oh, it's on up a little bit. Teresa. If Teresa was not alive on the property at the time the dogs were there, how are they expected to find her scent if the dogs can't smell objects she touched? Well, the cadaver dogs, they detect biological decay. It's not specific to a person. It's specific to biological decay. It could be anyone, right? So,
but the scent dogs, could they not smell her and her RAV or her electronics?
Well, the thing is, if you're within a vehicle, you're going to leave your scent on objects all around the place.
Especially if the window's down a little bit, if she smoked.
Correct. But the important point to point out here is that a cadaver dog is not specific for Teresa Hallbach.
No.
A cadaver dog would detect human decomposition from anybody. And we know that because Brutus hit in Stephen Avery's bathroom, he was actually hitting on his blood.
Yep.
Brutus also hit on the back of Teresa's Toyota RAV4. We do not know what Brutus had detected, whether it was the blood in the vehicle or the blood on the outside or both, right? So it's non-specific, whereas a scent dog is specific for Teresa Hallbach. And what Loof did is extremely worrying, as in, why is Loof going to the berm? Why is Loof going to Cuss Road?
That's
that
right.
made no sense at all. No sense.
Still doesn't. I can't put it together. I mean, we can speculate like we've done, but the Luke hit there, and then Cadaver Dog also hit on the berm. So they're smelling some kind of human decomposition. And then, of course, go ahead, Doc.
I was going to answer Anthony Hills. No, my understanding is that the Brutus was only at the back of the RAV4. I don't believe Brutus went all around the RAV4. Part of the problem was that there was a lot of material stuck on the front of the RAV4, so possibly the dog couldn't have proper access to the front of the RAV4. But the dog gave 2 hits, according to Julie Kramer, on the back of the RAV4.
You know what would be interesting? I'm just throwing this out, is if one of these scent dogs had tracked to the front of the RAV4 where the blinker had been knocked out, and if they had smelled Teresa there and indicated, that would be interesting. So many possibilities here, guys. It's mind-boggling because, again, they're doing the right thing by getting these dogs, but I think they use the dogs for their own benefit, not for the benefit of the case, not for the truth. I guess is a better way to say it. So, all right. I think I don't really see anything. Yeah, Mr. President, you said I doubt cadaver dogs can tell anyone anything about Teresa since they can smell any human death. That's right. I mean, it's a means to an end. It's not, but it's non-specific, which is why it's really troubling. Why a cadaver dog would hit on the berm along with the tracking dogs? Can't explain it. We have no real explanation. Because if it's not Teresa, who the hell is it? So, all right, I'm going to continue on. We'll pause you. And again, if there's any questions or whatever you guys want me to stop, just let me know.
At the tone, please enter your touch tone telephone number.
He's paging Great Lakes Search and Rescue. I'm going to forward it.
Dan Herman.
Yes, Lieutenant Great Lakes Search and Rescue responding to your page.
Good morning. You're aware of our incident going on up here in Manitowoc County?
Yes, we searched there yesterday.
Okay. What we're looking at is just the cadaver dogs.
Okay.
If you could have them at our command post on Avery Road at 7:30. Good morning, Glaze. Could you hold 1 second?
Okay.
Our command post is on Avery Road off of 147 there.
Right. We were there last night.
Okay. The deputy inspector is requesting 7:30 if you could be there with cadaver dogs.
Okay. We'll scramble.
If you could. I mean, I wanted to, I'm sorry to call you so early, but I figured you'd need some setup time, huh?
Yeah. We'll scramble and get people there. How many dogs do you need?
I don't know. I thought he had mentioned. I don't know how many you have for cadaver search.
We had 5.
He had mentioned 5, but that's maybe just because that's what you had out there last night.
Okay. We may have access to a couple of dogs from another team.
Okay.
Who are in the area as well.
Well, you're familiar with how big the area is there, and
yeah.
I guess you're more familiar with your animals. I mean, how long they can go before a burnout or whatever, or how long it takes them. So, whatever you can do for us, we'd appreciate it.
Okay, you bet.
Okay.
All right.
And your name, sir? Just
I'm Bob Kramer.
Bob Kramer?
Yeah.
Thank you.
You bet.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.
Hello? You won't be able to? Okay, thanks. Bye. Hello.
Hey, Todd.
Yes.
Hey, that Manitowoc County hazmat vehicle?
Yes.
Okay, that wonderful little canopy they had on it?
Yeah.
I salvaged what I could.
It blew off?
Holy shit.
Is that bad out there?
Oh, the wind picked up. It's like getting pelted by sleet. It's so bad. So between Canada County and the National State Troopers, we got it down, but I'm positive some of the pieces had to have broken off.
Wow.
It was that bad, so we took it down, what we could, and we got some tarps over some shit, but just want to let you know that...
Okay, no problem.
We salvaged what we could.
Yeah, what are you going to do? No problem.
No, the wind jet, it is...
Wow.
It picked up like a rock.
Okay, 7:30 I should have...
Yeah, I wanted to pause it here. Did you all hear what he said? This Manitowoc County hazmat vehicle? What the hell is he talking about? Somebody help me here. Any ideas?
Yeah,
It sounded to me like it was a canopy off of a vehicle.
Yeah, hazmat vehicle.
Yeah.
That's a hazardous material vehicle. What?
Probably just a piece of equipment for, I don't know. I don't think they were dealing with any hazmat materials.
I think that in the news report, they actually mentioned the hazmat vehicle as well. And normally you only bring a hazmat material if it's like some dangerous type of chemical spill or something like that. So maybe they just called it out of precaution, being a junkyard, whether there was acid or anything else, you know what I mean? So it could have just been called as a precaution. But there is a news report in which I think they even showed the hazmat vehicle, some type of a truck arriving at the property. That's interesting that it's in a call.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. I've listened to it before, and I, when I was just doing a quick review of this call, I heard it. Listening to it again, I'm thinking, what hazmat vehicle is he referring to? Because there's really not. I mean, in their reports, there's really not any reference that I can specifically remember, and more specifically, why they would need it. What's unique, I guess, is the better word to put. Why did they need it out there?
JD is saying, didn't hazmat go to Cuss? Not that I recall.
The crime lab did, but they
And
brought
there's
that.
also a fire truck. There was a fire truck at Cuss.
Yep, and that utility ambulance.
Uh-huh.
That brought the
With the
lights and the
lights.
generator. Yep, that's right.
Yeah.
Anyway, I heard that, and I just wanted to make a point of it because, again, we're left with not really knowing. It may not be important, but I guess I'm just too jaded. And when I hear stuff that we really have very little information about, it raises my radar. So, all right, I'm going to continue on.
Just real quick, Jack. Jost wasn't important either. Just saying.
That's right. That's exactly right. That's a good point.
Well, we're getting some guys together here, so hopefully by 7, 8 o'clock we'll have, maybe by 7 we'll have guys to relieve you.
Yeah, Greg said he's going to be out here at 7 to relieve me.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
Later.
Bye.
Shift commander's office.
Hey,
Huh?
I can make it later.
Yeah, I'm trying to make some...
Like noon or something, or 11, okay.
I got Shedder coming... Hold on 1 second.
Or 10 case, even.
Okay, I got Shedder coming down here. I'll advise you. Just hang on 1 second.
Right.
I didn't realize you could. I would have apologized for that. No. Not going to do anything? Okay, thanks.
We'll call you at 9 if we need you at 10.
Okay.
All right?
I'll make sure you call.
I should call you either way?
Well, I'll come in.
Yeah.
I mean, I just need a couple hours of rest here. But
yeah, I'm sorry about it.
She said my mom will probably watch the other one, so that's work on.
Okay, I'm trying to scab together some crew here, so I will let you know if we need you.
Well, you need me.
Okay, I'll try to need you. All right, thanks.
It's Greg, hold on.
Okay.
Shift commander's room.
Yeah, Todd.
It's Greg, hold on.
Okay.
Randy?
Yeah.
Hey, this guy, bring him in on the DC. Is he going to be able to bail? If they have the jail send in his prints to FBI, see if they have anything.
Okay.
And if nothing, and you still got suspicion that he may be deportable or something of that nature, we should be able to hold him without bail. There's exigent circumstances there.
Okay, yeah. Like according to the wife here, he's been deported once because of domestic violence incidents, and supposedly his mental, instability and whatnot.
Just as long as
somehow he got back, and
as long as we can cover that end of it, we got information to believe he doesn't belong here, we can hold him.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Bye.
Yeah, I'm going to pause it here. They're talking about the German, Siegfried. What's their last name? Jesus Christ, I went brain dead.
Yeah, me too.
But anyway, this is the German that Griesbach talks about. Berg. Is it Siegfried von Berg?
Something like that.
Yeah, I think that's
Berg.
it. Yeah, and Eva was his spouse that he beat the crap out of her. So they're talking about this. There were other phone calls, and I can't remember if they're in this particular track or another one, but I know that they had a scuffle with this guy, some issues. It's in one of these calls. They talk about it, I won't say extensively, but there's quite a bit of conversation about it and the issues they had out there with him. So anyway, I just wanted to explain that for anyone that was confused by this call. Not really entirely sure why it was included, because it doesn't really seem to have anything to do with Stephen Avery and Brendan Dassey. I don't really know.
Or does it?
Well, yeah, or does it? That's true. That's true.
So many suspects in this case.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah, and the call before was they were constantly looking for manpower help for security or whatever to stand on the property to as evidence was watched until it was removed whenever. So hey, there's Brian. Thanks for coming. Yeah, Berg. Yep, that's right. Siegfried von Berg, I think was his name, and then Eva Berg was his spouse. A lot of issues there. All right, I'm going to continue on.
Lieutenant Herman.
Hey, that's Jason.
Yeah.
Are you able to break in the office?
I've got some calls here. I'm setting some stuff up for a shed, or what do you got?
Well, it would be nice to have at least one more person up here in case. I mean, we're going to have permission to go in. If he doesn't answer the door, she's going to give us permission to go in, obviously. But
Pete ain't going on nothing. Have him head up there.
Okay. If he doesn't freely come out, it might be one of those.
Well, obviously.
There, but if he's laying low in a bedroom, we basically got to go room to room to locate the guy.
If he's refusing to go out, then don't even go in with Pete. Just have him start heading up there, and if he barricades himself or something, we'll make some other arrangements. But we're not going to go in there right at this point.
Well, we have charges if she gives us permission to go in.
Right. But does he have any weapons in there or anything of that nature?
That I don't know.
Yeah.
So you're saying not even go in?
Well, I guess see what you got first. Yeah. I mean, if you feel that you can access the house, go ahead. But
yeah, well, we'll be able to get in.
Right.
I'm assuming she has a key or the door's unlocked. What I'm saying is it'd be nice to have more than two people. Even if we just make entry, we're in the foyer or kitchen area, and
that's fine.
Come to our voices, it would be nice to have at least one more.
Comfortable with Pete coming up there?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
We have one more set of eyes watching so nobody jumps out at us.
Get him moving up there.
All right.
Thanks.
Bye.
Again, that's about the German making entry to the house.
Lieutenant Herman.
Hey, Todd. Brian, you ready?
Yeah, sorry to bother you, man.
What's up?
What time are you able to be in? About 8 o'clock or so, or did you stay awake all night last night?
No, whatever you need.
Well, I don't know. I guess I could give you some time here, 7:30 or so. Whenever you can get up there, 7:30, 8 o'clock.
Okay.
Stop down, pick up a car.
Okay.
Shedder, just I don't know if what he's going to have you do, but he'll set you up when you're up there.
Sounds good.
I think probably things will first start happening. I got the Great Lakes coming at 7:30.
Okay. I'll probably be in by you then about 8 if that's okay.
That's okay.
Okay.
That's okay. We'll get you up there. I'll just, I guess I got Riddle and Dacus coming in, so let's see once here. Well, there'll be a squad here. Grab a squad. I'll send 2 marked cars up with them, and then yeah, you can grab a squad.
Sounds good.
All right, thanks.
Yep, bye.
Bye. Lieutenant Herman.
Hey, Todd.
Yeah.
What are we going to hold this guy on?
Well, you got your charges.
Yeah, but both of those are available.
Right. If he's got, if the jail can send fingerprints in to FBI, see if they have anything outstanding for him.
Okay, I'm assuming they don't, though.
Yeah. Basically, they were unable to get hold of INS on this. They sent a request.
I just called there, too, and I just got an answering machine.
So at this point, we have some reasonable suspicion to believe that he doesn't belong here, according to his wife.
Mm-hmm.
So at this point, we got the accident circumstances to hold him without allowing him out, without bail.
And wording it that vague, exigent circumstances?
I guess the wife indicated he's been deported and he doesn't belong here, right?
In 2000, but we don't know if it's one of those things where it was just a time frame where after so many years he could come back.
What did he say about that?
He was resistive, so we haven't.
Is he intoxicated?
No. And he doesn't speak the greatest English.
Yeah.
That was another question. Do we get an interpreter here and then try and question him? Because of his cooperation level at this point, we really didn't sit down and attempt to.
I guess at this point, if he's, of course, that could also be used to the extent that he was resistant because he didn't know what's going on.
Right. Well, no, he did not want to leave until we found his paperwork. We started escorting him out, and that's when he started struggling.
Okay.
So we directed him up against the wall.
Nobody was hurt?
No. And then we started walking out again, and then he really started pulling and trying to get back into a different room, so we decentralized him to the ground.
Uh-huh.
Once he calmed down, we got him up to walk him out again, and then he struggled a little bit again. He did not want to leave until we had his paperwork, so we don't know if he really does have paperwork.
Okay. Does he have any means of bail?
I don't know. Maybe Randy's, or maybe the wife would know.
Okay.
Maybe Randy has that information, but we did check 2 boxes, and he claimed he didn't know where else it would be, the paperwork.
So you actually checked where he initially told you to check?
2 different boxes.
Yeah. So I guess at this point, until we can find out from INS, we got a reason to hold him or detain him indefinitely until we figure that out.
Okay.
Let the jail know
that might not be until tomorrow.
Possibly.
Okay.
I don't see a problem with it.
Right, and I truly don't think he'll be able to post anyhow. $800 is quite a bit.
Yeah.
But
let me know, I guess, if we need to get somebody. Is he cooperating with jail staff now?
Yeah, they just put him in the cell right away.
Are they getting any information for the booking? I mean, is he able to give some English?
Yeah, he can give some. They didn't actually try any of that. They tried, what's this thing called again? He just tried to see if he was entered into our state system with their Identitex, but he wasn't in it.
Okay.
That's just Wisconsin, though.
Yeah. Until we get that back from INS, I mean, if they can send that stuff to FBI, that'd be great, but so we can get in touch with the INS, I don't see a problem holding them, because we have some belief that he possibly doesn't belong there from the wife.
Right, is that reason to contact FBI? Try phone contact?
No, I guess
wait, see what INS is?
Yeah, I guess that would be my...
All right.
You're going to come down here?
Yeah.
Before you take off? All right.
Bye.
Todd. I'm thinking maybe what I'll do is see what you think. Have John come in early, and I'd like you to maybe come out here and this ambulance, you know how to run this thing, right?
Sure.
I mean, how to fire everything up. We lost that tent, so I'd like to get some heat in here. We got the trailer and the command post.
Okay.
Make sure this thing, if it needs gas, maybe I'll have you run and get gas and stuff like that. And John can do the shift commander duties, and then you can come out here.
Max should be, he figured he could get to the office by 0800. And then, so, what time you want me up there?
Whenever you can. John said he'd probably expect a call and whatever. Or, yeah, why don't you do that?
That's fine.
You tell him to just stay at the sheriff's department, and then you can head out here.
Sounds good.
And then whatever I need from you, then you're handy as hell that way. So.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.
Hi, John. Todd calling about 20 after 7. You could return the call. I'm in shift commander's room. I'll try you back in a little bit. Craig said you are expecting a call for shift commander duties here. Talk to you later. Lieutenant Herman.
Hey, Todd, did Brian already go out to Avery?
No, he's out. Who, Brian?
Yeah. Did he come in yet?
No, he did not.
Oh, okay.
He said he'd be here around 8 o'clock.
Okay, thanks.
Why, are you up in jail?
Yeah, he had left his gloves out by Avery's last night. Silky brought them in and gave them to me, and I just wanted to catch him before he went.
All right.
So,
You can run him down here, or I'll try to remember to have him come up.
No, I'll get a hold of him.
All right.
Thanks.
Yeah, you probably catch him when he comes in. You'll probably be out there on break smoking now.
Shut up.
Oh, no, you quit.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I hate to remind you of that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Bye. County Jail Sergeant Briggs.
Hi, Joy. It's Todd.
Yes?
We're working on it here. Has he cooperated with your booking?
We didn't get him back out yet.
Oh. We're working on it down here to see what we got going with that. We'll let you know shortly if he can make arrangements for
Yeah, I
us
just
or not.
called her to find out how long the computers are down, but she said they weren't anymore, so.
Does he have money on him
Honestly, I don't know.
that he can post?
Eric, did he have money on him? I can't hear you. You gotta go by the thing. 24 cents? I ain't going anywhere.
Yeah, unless he'd have a friend or something.
Oh, yeah.
But, well,
But
he's I guess he's pounding on it if he's...
No, he's laying in his bunk.
Oh, he is now. But, yeah he's got to cooperate with booking. But obviously, we will get back in touch with you here before.
I'll be done at 8, but I just didn't want to leave it totally open-ended on this whole until I...
Jason, before he leaves the office here, he will make contact up there.
Excellent.
All right.
Thank you, bye.
Lieutenant Herman.
Yeah, Chuck from the highway shop calling. I guess my main question is does this look like this may go on for a day or two? Tomorrow we may end up setting a detour road up on 147 at Oregon.
I can only speculate, and my speculation would be that, yeah, it would be going on tomorrow yet.
Okay, I guess I'm going to talk to Greg, see what Greg says. I know the biggest thing is with the truck.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about the cars and even the school buses. I'm sure we'll get them through, whatever it takes. But the big thing is going to be the truck.
What's your name again? Who's this?
Chuck with the highway shop, patrol superintendent.
Okay, you got a direct line, Chuck?
Yes, I do. I'm going to be gone the rest of the day. I'm going to the Packer game.
Hopefully they can put on a show for you today.
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, hopefully. No, I'm almost up by 147 right now. I just wanted to make sure all the signs and everything were in place from the wind.
Okay.
So,
who should we get a hold of here if we need anything during the day today?
It's going to be Brian Glazer. Yeah, Brian's supposed to be calling in. Brian was going to...
Glazer?
Yes, Brian.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, we're calling you away from everything.
They should have all his numbers.
You hear that? Brian Nack said hi. He's making some smart comments in the background.
Okay.
He said he's going to call you away from the Packer game.
Yeah.
So, we could just get him on the radio, or...
Brian's going to be coming in a little while. He was supposed to take over for me at 8 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'll look things over up here, and I guess...
I can't really say. Depending on what happens today, you know, but I would imagine you can probably plan on tomorrow yet.
Okay, I'll talk this over a little bit with
keeping his clothes or thinking about setting up a detour, I would say. Okay. All right, thanks, Chuck.
Yeah, well, we'll probably call in.
Yeah, check back with us, and we'll get in touch with you.
Okay, excellent.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Not really, but...
Oh, good morning.
Good morning, Todd. You called?
You wide awake?
Not really, but
oh.
I'm there.
Greg said you'd be willing to come in early.
Okay, what time do you need me?
When you can get here.
Okay.
He's going to want me up there, and he wants you to run the show here.
All right.
In the office.
All right.
Supervisor.
Okay.
When you get here, I'll take off.
All right.
ASAP. Thanks.
Right.
Bye.
Is Kevin still...
Lieutenant Time.
John, Brian.
Hey, Brian.
Is Kevin still coming in? Is he on the schedule?
I don't have anything scheduled here.
When you do make it out, if you can put him open, because 1:30 they have a press conference in Michigan.
Yeah.
And apparently he's got the keys and everything. He can go up there and do everything for him.
Oh.
He's part of the
all right.
So that would...
Yeah, he's coming in at noon. We're not having him coming in early, but...
No, but at noon, it's apparently at 1:30, so...
Okay.
They put him open and he can go up and do all that and whatever needs to be done.
Okay.
Oh, you're in too, huh?
Yeah.
I'm glad I went to bed early.
Thrilled and excited to be here.
Right when I got home, I mean.
So, what time did you get home?
I left there at 10:30, got home about 10:11. So, alrighty.
Okay.
See you later. Bye.
Sheriff's Department.
John?
Nope, just a second. Just walked in. Yes, Greg.
Hey, John. Greg here.
Mm-hmm.
I talked to the battalion chief Russ Folk a little bit earlier.
Mm-hmm.
He said they have a gator that they would be willing to bring out.
Okay.
I'm thinking that's a piece of equipment we probably could utilize.
Okay.
You want to give a call over there? I'm not sure if he's there, or talk to somebody and see if that offer still stands, if they'd be willing to transport that out here.
Sure. Do you know if that's Station 1?
I believe so, right in the main one.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Sure. Bye. Bye.
Mantle Fire Ambulance, Musc speaking.
Hi, can I talk to the man in charge, please?
Just a minute.
They're calling the fire department. I don't think they have any women in charge.
First Department. Greg Shitter had talked to you about the gator.
Okay.
He's wondering if you guys could bring that up. Apparently he needs it now.
Sure. We can do that. It'll take an hour or so.
Okay.
Fuel our truck and load her back up.
Okay, so about an hour you figure to get up there, or just an hour before you leave?
Oh, no. I'll get somebody moving on it. It'll take at least an hour, maybe a little better to get it out there, though.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Thank you very much.
Sure.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Hey. Lieutenant, sorry?
John, were you calling me?
Yeah, Todd. I was trying to figure out what I was going to do for squads here, and I thought maybe we could ship a couple of detective units up for exchange for squad cars that are not being used for anything but just transports.
Don't you have
Next, got one up here, right?
Yeah, and I've got 6'4", 6'5", and 6'7" here, but that still leaves me 2 squad cars short.
Yeah, 45 is available, and well, I'm hoping to come in by 1 o'clock or so.
Okay, well, that'll give me 6'1". I'm just thought we have some unmarked detective cars that we could use.
1 second, John.
Okay.
Oh, okay. And okay, and the bill shouldn't have any tax on. Okay, the deputy inspector can hear that all. Thank you so much. Okay, John.
So you're going to bring 61 in?
It'll be a while, but
about 1 o'clock, huh?
I'm just leaving Calumet Avenue. I'm hoping. I guess I can find out. Yeah, there should be no reason why you couldn't get a squad from up there.
That's what I'm thinking, because there's probably at least 1 or 2 of those squads are just being used to. Oh, we're going to use them for tramp.
45 there for Riddle's got the one on the end of the Avery Road. He's using it. He's got the lights on, and he's got a job out there. He's got stopping and this and that. He needs
a squad
to document, because otherwise they ain't stopping for him, and he needs and he doesn't know who they are, and he needs to log them in and out. So
and he's got 45.
45 is up there, and
do you know who?
I'll be in as soon as possible.
Okay, you know who's got 45?
It's 3. Take us to 70.
Okay.
Get,
okay. What I'll probably do then is I'll have Sean come up with a detective card. Just give it to whoever's got 45 and take 45 out.
Actually, you could probably.
50-32.
Yeah, whatever. You could almost probably have 2 guys leave.
So just have 2 run up there?
Take a car up there.
Okay, I didn't know if we need an extra car or not. But yeah, all right, I'll do that too. I'm not quite...
I don't think so. We can always have patrol shuttle a guy if we need to later. I mean, shouldn't need a car up there.
We'll do that then. I'll just have him shuttle. In fact, what I'll do is I see exactly what I'm going to do. Okay.
Thanks, John.
Sure. Bye. Lieutenant, son.
John, is Forrest there yet?
Hold on, let me see if I can find him.
Or any of my guys?
No, Jason was just here a minute or 2 ago. Let me see if I can catch him for you.
Thanks.
Hold on. He's left the building.
Oh, no kidding. All right.
No, sorry about that.
No problem. I'll turn him on the radio quick.
Okay.
All right, bye.
Bye. Lieutenant, son.
Hey, John, Rick Strachey.
Hey, Rick.
Just got home from up north, got your message. Anything I can do for you at this point?
Just maybe hang around if you're not doing anything today, if you're interested in some overtime and maybe some coming your way. But right now, they haven't called me about needing anybody today. Yesterday was jump through your you-know-what to get everything done, but today's kind of settled down.
Have they found a body or anything?
No. But that's not for press release.
Yeah.
Still checking, still doing the thing.
So they're still processing the whole area?
Oh, yeah, that's a big area to cover, too. Plus, there's other possibilities that came up that arise, too, that they got to look at, so.
Okay. All righty.
I appreciate you calling back.
Okay.
Sure.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, that was a little interesting little comment that Lieutenant Syme made. He's now on duty. There are other possibilities, too. He's talking about outside the salvage yard, so what's he talking about? What's he heard? Comments?
Yeah, that was a very interesting statement. It goes to show that there are other narratives which are running in the background, and they've all been told to obviously keep their mouth shut because he didn't disclose anything.
Absolutely. And, you know, as we know, Lieutenant Syme was one of the worst ones to run his mouth because that, you know, he gave that long interview to Tom Kirshner from the newspaper, that guy, that reporter. He was really good. He just kept kind of like pulling shit out of the guys. He's like, I really can't talk, but
What was that you found interesting, Jack? I missed it. I was typing.
Well, this person was talking about, what was on the salvage yard. He said that they found a body yet.
Yeah,
And
I
Lieutenant
heard
Sam
that.
said no, but there's a huge area. Plus, there's other possibilities along with that.
Okay, that's what I missed. Wow.
Yeah. So what the F-bomb is he talking about?
Us Road. What day is that?
Hey, Sunshine.
Hi. Hi,
What
Christina.
the hell?
I snuck in on you.
You did sneak in. Wow. Look at you. Well, welcome.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming.
Well, of course. So what day is this? The 6th or
This
the?
is the 6th. Yep, this is the
Okay.
6th. There's no time. If you look at the title on YouTube, I don't know if you have YouTube open, but
I do.
it's just got the number and the date, but there's no
Mhm.
time range. So we know that this call starts before 5 a.m. I don't know how long it runs, but
We're
we
still
know.
morning here.
Oh,
I would
Okay.
say.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So is this pre or post the AG's office? What was that guy's name that called all in a tizzy,
He
wanting
called
to talk
this
to
is
Roar?
post. Yeah, that was God, I'd have to look at it.
Yeah, I can't ever remember.
Freiberg.
Oh, Freiberg. That's right. Freiberg.
Was that
Yeah.
afternoon of the 5th?
Yep,
That was
it
like
was.
7:30, 8 o'clock on the evening of the 5th. He called all puffed up, talked to Skrulinski. I need Roar's number, or I need him. Yeah, give me his number. Like
Yeah, that.
he was definitely ramped up. No doubt about it.
And I have a feeling that call, this is of course my opinion, but I have a feeling that call was I don't know what y'all are up to, but this is how, if you're going to do it, it's got to be done like this so it sticks, right? I mean,
What does Skrulinski tell him? He clearly has imparted something to him that's got him all wound up, and probably those in the office around him.
yeah, we're gonna arrest him for murder. Yeah, there's no way. I mean, we can sit here and pretend like it was on the up and up, but I think pretty much all of us know that from the beginning, this was Stephen Avery was going back to prison plan.
Oh, absolutely. That's
Yeah.
right. The depositions are going to end, and he's going to go back to jail. Absolutely. There's no doubt about it.
Make it happen. Yeah.
Yep. And I have a feeling that Freiberg was calling saying, if you're going to do this, the only way we're going to be involved is if it sticks, because if it's sloppy, and it still was sloppy, because you can't fake a murder. Or let me rephrase that. I'm not saying she didn't die, but you can't fake what they faked and it be beautiful on the fly. And that's what they did. So it makes me wonder, like, you have to, that's the only reason why I'm not full force they killed her. Because I feel like there would have been a better plan from the beginning, unless the plan was we're going to frame him off site, and then they realized that would never work because of the Jody calls.
Well, you hit on something long ago that I think we probably all pretty much agree with, and this concerns the pile of bones, as Sturdivant testified. All that shit was on paper, because we can see from the photographs that Trooper Reese took, there is no pile of bones in that pit. It's not there.
No.
But
they're all at the Manitowoc County Quarry.
It's all
that.
It's all on paper. Otherwise, they would have documented. Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
Earl was probably pretty pissed, but
yeah. Where was Kaiser? Where was Kaiser when he pronounced her deceased? The Manitowoc County Quarry.
That's right. He wasn't at the coroner's office. That's for damn sure.
Nope. Yeah. And he never set foot on Avery salvage yard.
Yeah, I wanted to say hello to Jerome. Drum, you're certainly, if you're interested, you're certainly welcome to join us here in Discord and talk if you wish. And it's just an offer. You certainly don't have to, but you've been on with us before during the calls and seem to, offer some good opinion and thoughts. So the invitation's there.
And I want to say hi to Hugh Frazier. Hi, I'm glad to see you back on YouTube. Yay.
Oh yeah, Hugh's been on with us in the live chat several times, especially during the calls.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yep.
We keep playing phone tag on Messenger, and I just wanted to, just let them know I'm still around. It's just been crazy.
I completely understand.
But I can't admit, I love these calls. These calls, like, just every time I hear them, something else clicks,
Always. We can always talk more intelligently about them. We know more. Behind the Magic says someone mentioned, quote, hold on, I lost that.
Oh, promotions.
Yeah, someone mentioned promotions. According to LinkedIn, just changed roles in February 2007. The deputy inspector jail administrator. Would this be considered promotion? I would think it would, deputy inspector, because he was a sergeant. So yeah, I think that would be a pretty decent little title change there, and probably money as well.
Yeah, that puts him in Couché's realm.
Yeah.
Even before the trial.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So, all right. Any other comments before I move on? I'll continue on with this call. We're not quite halfway through it. Hey, there's Disco Pervert. Hey, woohoo! Thanks for coming, Disco. All right, I'm gonna move on.
Welcome to the Nurse. Hi, you've reached the voice. Hello. You have one unplayed message. Wednesday, 6:23 p.m.
Hi, John. This is Dan Medina's parents. I was just wondering if there was anything found at the scene of his accident that we could, have access to. We're looking for a journal or anything else that might have been in his Jeep. Our number is 684-9041. I would appreciate it if you could give me a call back, okay? Thanks.
And message discarded. That was your last message.
That seems to be some accident somebody's calling about. All right, moving on.
Did she say we're looking for a journal?
She did say that. She did say that.
I thought she said a drill. DRILL.
Can we replay that call?
Yeah, I'll back it up. Yep. Hold on.
That we could. Dan Medina's parents. I was just wondering if there was anything found at the scene of his accident that we could, have access to. We're looking for a journal or anything else that might have been in his Jeep.
A drill that might have been in his Jeep. A drill that might have been in his Jeep.
Yeah, that's what I heard was drill.
I missed that.
A drill.
She says the person.
I still heard journal.
I heard journal too.
I'll play it again.
Or Dremel. Maybe Dremel.
I was just wondering if there was anything found at the scene of
if anybody
his
knows
accident
what that is.
that
It's
we
like
could,
some sort of a
have
tool.
access to. We're looking for a journal or anything else that might have been in his Jeep.
I heard drill. I know what a Dremel tool is, absolutely, but I heard drill.
I'm still hearing journal. I'm hearing the J, journal. I don't know.
I'm not getting that.
I'm hearing
My ears.
and I'm hearing 2 syllables.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty low quality, so And I'm
You
30%.
says journal and your scar says drill. High speed drill is journal.
That's true. Yeah. I used to have a Dremel tool somewhere, but I don't know where the hell it's at.
Oh.
It's probably in the basement.
Me too.
Alrighty, I'm going to move on.
Our number call back, okay, please.
Shift Commander Lieutenant Sun.
Hi, I'm calling. I don't know if it's any information that you could use or not. My name is Linda, and if you are handling Teresa's case, you've heard my messages on there. I have road rash, and she was supposed to come on the 3rd, and I was trying to reschedule. It just so happens Monday, just about the time, I guess my husband told me it was around 1:30, we had run into the situation, and I had tried to call Teresa to reschedule. And I don't know if I misdialed. I don't know what, because my phone company won't tell me if I dialed the correct number, the 737 number.
Right.
But when they answered, I wasn't really paying attention, and then, you know how like sometimes you won't, and then it's like, what am I listening to? And it was just music.
Okay.
And I don't know if it's helpful, but everyone said I should let you know that maybe. And then, of course, I got through on Wednesday and Thursday. If you've listened to her voicemail, it was just, you know, I need to reschedule. But I don't know if that's helpful, but it would have been just around that time, 1:30, 2 o'clock.
Okay, you just heard music?
Yeah, it was strange because that's why I was like, what, am I on hold? Because like I said, we ran into a problem with our business, and I was like, I have to call her and reschedule. So I called her while I was flipping through papers, and if you've ever done that, you're really not paying attention a lot, and then you're like, what am I listening to? And it was like, not singing music, but elevator-type music, the kind you would almost listen to if you were on hold. In fact, I thought I was on hold. I was like, well, I don't have time. I've got to call the freight company. So I thought, I'll just hang up and I'll call Teresa later, which, you know, I did. Unfortunately, it was later. But I don't know if that's relevant or if it means anything.
What's a home phone number for you? I'll have one of the detectives give you a call.
Sure. It's area code 920.
920.
869.
869.
2585.
2585.
Yeah.
And your last name, Linda?
It's Lutkins. I'll spell that. L-U-E.
L-U-E.
T-K-E-N-S.
T-K-E-N-S.
Yeah, and you'll notice on the 24th she had called me and made the appointments, and then you'll hear my voice on Wednesday and Thursday. I was leaving the message, you know, that I needed to reschedule. So it's
your middle initial?
A.
And date of birth?
February 18th, 1963.
February 18th, 1963. Okay. Address?
Oh, it's W337 Crook Road.
W337 Crook?
I'm in De Pere, actually.
Okay.
I was in De Pere. Our business was in Green Bay. She was the photographer for Green Bay area.
Okay. How do they spell the Crook?
Crook is a C-R-O-O-K.
Oh, okay. Just like Crook. Okay. Crook
like
Road.
Like the kind you hunt down.
Gotcha. Okay. And that's De Pere, right?
Correct. And I don't know, like I said, everyone just kept saying, well, just tell them what you heard anyway, because...
Okay, yeah, that's, it may or may not mean anything, but the investigating officer would have to look at that. I'll probably have him give you a call later today. I'll give him a call and see if he can work you into a schedule. He's rather busy, but let's see what we can do, okay?
Okay, thank you very much.
Sure, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
I find it very strange that her cell phone company will not tell her what number she dialed. I never heard of that, ever. I mean, she can prove who she is, and it's her phone. Come on.
Yeah, it's so I want to give them like the benefit of the doubt, because back then, you know, it wasn't as easy as it is now. But then we know for a fact that they had Teresa's records and had her calls. You know, they were able to see what she was up to. Now, I'm curious, someone who has done an in-depth look at Teresa's cell phone records, is this lady's call on her phone for the 31st? Does anyone know?
I don't know.
Yeah, because I don't remember ever reading about that call when I read, you know, others' research on the calls, but I personally never really messed with the cell phone side of it, because it just never called for me to do, like, I never felt, it's not my thing. Yeah, like, it's not that it's not important.
I've heard her messages.
The ones on the 3rd and the 4th, right? Yeah, but she's saying she called on Monday on Halloween.
Yeah.
at around 1:30, 2 o'clock. And if she wasn't factoring in the time change, that would have been around the time that Teresa's phone goes silent.
True.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have her. I'm one of those that really didn't dive too deep into her phone records, especially. I mean, I looked at a lot of the cell tower stuff, but as far as
Mm-hmm.
specific calls like that, I didn't. So,
No, I read the Reddit post on it, right? Because
right.
other people did such a great job, but I don't
Yeah.
recall this call. Do you?
No, I do not.
No. And what's interesting about that is then you have Teresa's friend who gets that bizarro call. And when she calls back, remember, she's going to call in. I think she calls in on, I don't remember when she called in. When she called back, or I'm sorry, the call that she got was like from 000s.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I
Yeah, that was.
find that interesting too.
Yeah, that was weird. It was.
Because
I,
let's play a hypothetical out, okay? What if whatever happened, someone was able to successfully shut off her phone and then forward any calls so that you weren't able to use her cell phone to ping her, right? Would that, I don't know. I don't know. See, I
well,
feel
yeah. I
like
mean,
anything done at that level would have been done from Madison, right? And I don't think they were involved from the beginning, only because of how they responded in the beginning, right? They were not prepared for this. So I feel like the Madison was brought in to kind of clean it up because they didn't want to deal with the fallout because it would have tainted them as well.
oh, but it would have destroyed the case. I mean, the
Mm-hmm.
depositions would have blown sky high instead
Yeah.
of getting buried and shut down. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how, with the cell, obviously call forwarding was an option. I remember I had it. It was a package. It was call forwarding, call waiting,
Three-way.
three-way, and there was another one too. I don't remember, but I know it was part of a package deal that I paid. It wasn't much, a little extra, and
Mm-hmm.
I had something else added to our plan. Well, we had a family plan, but it's still singular, So I don't know how the system would handle that. I mean, the call forwarding clearly was an option because she turned it on. She call forwarded their CFNA, whatever it was, that designation on her phone bill. So I don't know.
I
I don't know
always
how.
felt like, I always felt like the cell records we got were not, they just weren't they weren't accurate. Like
Well,
we should have had way more detail.
well,
And
I mean, if you remember the partial that they got from AT&T, it clearly said at the bottom that there could be calls missing from that list, and you really had to wait until a cycle ended before the full phone list may appear or something of that nature. But basically, that partial could have had numbers missing from it. It says that on that partial that they pulled. So you got to wonder. I don't know. I don't know.
yeah,
I got to
and we
find a problem with the
never,
phone bill.
yeah, and we never received, or the court never entered into evidence the actual complete phone cycle, right? They always shut it off on like the 5th or the 6th, I think.
No, it was shut off before then, I think.
The calls.
Second, I think, is the last day, first or second.
Yeah, and we don't really have a history. It's just so weird how short-sighted this investigation was. Even if it was legit, it was very limited in and what they did,
Well, they never expected it to get blown up like this. There's no way. There's
Mm-mm.
absolutely. They
No.
thought they were going to run this through and get it done, and they did. And they linked arms and said, "Hey, we did everything right." Right, sure you did. Anyway.
Just a quick comment, Jack 61.
Yep.
When any of the detectives or anybody else called Teresa's number, they never got music, right?
No.
So it's very likely either there was call forwarding to her work, or the lady misdialed and rang somebody else.
I think she misdialed.
Or she could have rung Teresa Horbach's work and got put on hold. And that's normally when you get music, when you ring up a business rather than someone's personal phone line. And, a 10-second check of the records, like Sunshine Christina said, would have revealed who she had called.
I agree. But her statement that her cell phone company wouldn't tell her who she dialed? Come on. What? I never heard of that.
Well, to be fair, some companies are very, very strict on confidentiality. They won't give that information out. But on her record, it should have a list of who she had called. So it could have easily been solved. I highly doubt it that she actually called Teresa Horbach on her mobile.
I agree. I think she misdialed. Yeah. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone else has popped in that we need to? I've been trying to watch, but there's Nines Live 7. I haven't seen her, and Kelly McAlien. Woo-hoo. Thanks for coming, ladies. Appreciate that. Okay. All right. I'm going to continue on. We're roughly halfway through this first call, or this first multi-call.
Lieutenant Son.
Hey, John.
Your phone doesn't sound too good here. I just got a phone call from Melinda Lukens.
Okay.
She apparently was making arrangements also with our victim to have her come out to take pictures. And she had attempted to contact between 1:30 and 2 p.m. on Monday to give her a call.
With the victim?
With the victim.
Okay.
And she dialed up the number, and she got some strange sounds and some music. And I told her, well, I probably maybe have somebody call you and see if you can shed any light of what you got going there. So I got a phone number for her.
Okay.
It's area code 9.
Let's do this, John.
Okay.
Because we're going to have certain guys doing that type of follow-up.
Okay.
Just take down some notes, information that she gave.
Yeah.
And just put it in a file or something like that. We'll have to do some follow-up on that.
Okay.
Kind of the roundabout stuff.
The roundabout stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, take all the information you got, and we'll...
Yeah, she didn't give me a whole lot. She just said that she heard something like elevator music, and she wasn't quite sure, and she was trying to call back to find out what was going on.
Take down some notes?
No.
Huh.
We don't have
that sounds an awful like a written report to me.
We don't have the tip sheet either, as far as I know.
Yeah. And I tried like heck to get that for a while, and they played dumb.
And did you hear what they both said? He's talking to Remaker. This is Lieutenant Syme talking to Detective Remaker. And this is the 6th, and they're saying victim. Really?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Where the hell did that come from? How do they know they have a victim?
Yeah, that's another good catch. So
clearly there's been
Remaker,
there's clearly been talk in the background that Teresa's dead.
I have to say, blood in the back of the RAV is pretty damn suspicious.
Well, it is, but they haven't found a body or bones.
Yeah.
And they haven't done any molecular analysis to determine whose blood that is.
No.
No, but it's her vehicle, though.
True.
I mean.
True, but she could have picked up a deer, or somebody could have bled in the back. It could be anything. But, I mean, I agree.
But I mean, the RAVs on the salvage yard, that's pretty suspicious as well.
Well, it wasn't there, though. That's the key. So, right? So I understand where you're going with it, Susan. I do. And I agree with you. But it wasn't but it wasn't there. It wasn't there until someone put it there, at the cops' behest or the cops themselves. And then they had Pam go and find it. So was
Yeah.
there blood in the RAV when they found it the first time, or did they place that in there to sell the story? Because I know Steven's blood wasn't in the front until they got a hold of it. So
Well,
It sure doesn't
no one
seem
had
that
noted.
way.
Yeah, no one had noted any blood. On November
Yeah.
the 5th, when the RAV was found, no one had
Nope.
noted any blood. But
Nope.
Right.
Brutus did hit on something.
yeah,
Correct.
yeah.
Yeah,
I think
I agree.
Well, was
I
Teresa's blood in there? You know.
agree with you, Susan. It, you know, to make that leap, I think was
I
probably
mean, if
pretty
I were a detective, yeah, you'd
right.
be pretty damn suspicious. Yeah, that something had happened.
I just at this stage on the 6th, and they don't really have, at least as far as we know, they don't have any real proof that she's dead, and they're already calling her a victim. I don't know. Whatever. I just
Well,
threw it out there.
it just goes
I-
to show that they're the public persona of we always maintain hope until we have concrete proof. Otherwise, is
Right.
just that it's a show
Right.
But
for sure.
but also, victim does not necessarily mean dead. Right?
Well, it could have another meaning. That's true.
hmm I think
and also,
I think they should have been calling her. Have we found our missing woman yet? Or
Teresa
there-
Hawbuck. How about using her
yeah,
name?
yeah,
Yeah.
or that. Yeah,
Doc?
that's a good
Yeah.
point.
I was going to say they did note blood in the RAV on the 6th.
Yes.
When Groffy went, it's Groffy, right? When he
That's
went
right.
there early to the
That's
crime
right.
lab, that's when they did spot the blood on
Yeah.
the 6th, but no one saw any blood on November the 5th. And Fassbender, I think, and Remaker and others actually had torches, and no one recalled seeing any blood at all.
Nope. That's right. That's
And,
exactly right.
and I think on the 6th they also noted the blunt, bloody object that disappeared along with
Well, yeah,
Teresa.
that was Harrington. He noted all that and conveyed all that information in that phone call he had with Fassbender. And Fassbender clearly told Wiegert, because he put all that shit in his warrant on the 7th that you got. Badass.
Yep.
Badass woman. Badass. Superstar.
Yeah.
I agree.
Right.
Stubborn.
Well, whatever. I call you
Yeah.
badass. You can say stubborn
Well,
if you
thank
like,
you.
but you got it in your teeth and you wouldn't fucking let go of it. So,
Mm-mm.
Good
Yeah,
for
they
you.
made me mad.
well, it worked. Whatever. They screwed
Yeah.
up, but it worked.
Yeah, Wiegert wrote me this denial letter like I was an idiot when the time before he had asked me to be specific, and then yeah, I guess he thought I wasn't. I don't know what he thought. He wasn't thinking, but whatever.
Yeah. And
Well,
clearly didn't read them, Doc.
Mm-mm.
that affidavit, search warrant you got, you weren't meant to get that. I'm
No.
telling you right now.
No way.
You weren't meant to get it at all.
No.
Yeah, that's a gold mine. That is a gold mine.
It is. I really wish personally that in some way that KZ could have used that as a pry bar. But I don't know the legal ins and outs of that. But to me, it feels like she should have been able to use at least some portion of that, in a motion. But anyway, we could talk about that for forever. All right, I'm going to move on.
Okay.
Unless there's comments that in the live chat that I've missed. Yeah, I don't see anything. All right, let's move on.
Going on, and so it was. I don't know if it's anything at all, but
You tried calling the victim's phone on Monday?
yeah, between 1:30 and 2 p.m.
Okay.
And she said it sounded like elevator music. At first she wasn't really paying attention, and then it sounded like elevators music playing. So, and then she wanted to check with the phone company to find out if she actually had dialed up the correct number or not, but the phone company won't let her do that. And I guess she said it was strange. It got her attention.
Okay.
And of course, now that this is going on, it's really got her attention.
Oh, absolutely. Okay.
So.
Yeah, jot that down, and then we'll get somebody to follow up on it in the near future here.
Okay.
Okay. Thank
Sure.
you.
Bye. Lieutenant Sam.
John, Todd calling.
Hi, Todd.
Hey, I'm bringing your car in.
Okay.
You want me to gas it? I got 3/4 tank.
Yeah, no, you don't need to gas it. You had a long day.
Well, no, I mean, it ain't that big a deal, but
If you want to, go ahead. If you don't, that's no biggie either. I'm not going to get upset about it.
I know you wanted, but
I have a sense of humor.
I just didn't know how soon you wanted your car.
Well, I'm not in a real rush right now. I'm just finishing up paperwork.
Oh, it depends. They've been slamming you, calling or not?
Just a couple calls, not too bad. In fact, it's been very quiet compared to yesterday.
Oh, yeah. Well, I saw that when I came in there. I just sat and chatted yesterday, but I was in a hurry. I had to fly down to Milwaukee.
No problem.
So I'll see you in a little bit. I'm Kingsbridge already.
Okay.
Thanks.
Sure. Bye.
Hello?
Hi, is Brian there?
Sure.
No. Brian, Todd Herman calling from Sheriff's Department.
Yeah.
Yeah, reference 147. I talked to, who did I talk to earlier?
You talked to Charlie?
Yeah. Are you guys going to work on setting a detour up in the morning?
Is that what you're going to want? You're going to want to shut off?
Yeah,
Okay.
we're going to keep it shut off. We got it shut off now, and we're going to keep it shut off, but he was concerned about truck traffic.
Okay.
You know, the sooner the better in the morning, I guess.
Okay.
You know, because obviously if they're coming from Two Rivers to Green Bay, they're going to be bright and early.
Okay, what are you looking at? How long are you looking at having to shut off?
At this point, it's kind of indefinitely.
Okay.
We got, depends what we can uncover today, and, you know, we're planning for all day tomorrow.
Okay.
And beyond that, I don't know.
All right.
We got 40 acres of cars and everything else to look through.
All right. All right, well, then what we'll probably do is we'll probably detour it in Michigan already.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, detour it over there, and then we'll probably detour it over to Covington BB or something like that.
What time would you be looking at to get that rolling? I realize you guys, 7 or 7:30, but...
I'm guessing I'll probably start someone early tomorrow morning.
Super.
And I'll probably have someone start, I'm just guessing here, what I could probably do is have someone start at probably 6 o'clock already.
That'd be great.
You know, because we start at 6:30. I figure if we start at 6 o'clock...
They'll be out there by 6:30 or so.
Yeah.
That time they get the stuff on their trucks and...
Sure. And now that I'm thinking about it, do you have barricades right in Larrabee right now?
Yes, we do.
Okay, so then maybe what we'll do is then we'll probably detour it right in Larrabee.
That point is, I think there's a arrow board there too.
Okay. Then we'll probably detour the traffic and have them go north on Q and then over to the Double B and then around.
That'd be great.
That's probably what we're going to do. Okay?
Sounds good. Thank you.
Okay, you bet. Bye.
I just want to point out, I understand this is not necessarily crime scene tape, but listen how they isolated the Avery salvage yard. They isolated it by detouring. I didn't realize that. I just thought that they kept that roadblock up down there where they had it, but they're detouring because of trucks, and I get that, you know, but it's further isolating that property, and they were in control of that property. Anyone have any thoughts about that?
Not only that property, so they had Redon's property, they had all of Cuss Road, they had the Manitowoc County Quarry, and they had Stephen Avery's 40 acres, or the Avery Salvage Yard 40 acres. All right.
That's right.
So, and then they set up roadblocks. This is the part that I still, if we can unravel the purpose behind this. They set up roadblocks on Xander between Q and I forget.
Old County Highway. Why?
Okay. And if you look at that on a map, that is a road that runs, I may have my north, south, east, west, but it runs south from Q straight to 147 all of that. And they had that entire, so they literally had that part blocked off, and they were able to run a straight shot from Xander Road to the Avery salvage yard.
Yeah. I don't understand why they blocked it. I mean, we've got the calls, but we don't have any explanation as to why. It's not
And
there. No reports.
no. And so there was a thought process posited that it had to do with Martinez because he was running loose that day. And that very well could have been the
but there's a different day that Martinez was not involved that they blocked it off. It wasn't Martinez. He was after.
And this was billed to the Avery investigation, not to his investigation. They did this roadblock as part of Teresa Halbach's investigation.
Yeah,
not the search for Martinez.
That's right.
And that to me makes it highly suspicious, because if you had to make it a part of the Avery investigation to get paid for it, then that means whatever you were up to had to do with this case, not Martinez. Or let me rephrase that. Or unless it did have to do with Martinez, whatever it was, has to do with Teresa Halbach being missing. But you don't want to bring Martinez into it, so you leave his name out of it. But you want to get paid for whatever you're doing, so you have to bill it to the Avery investigation.
Yeah, I don't know. They're tight-lipped about it. That's all I know. But it did happen because I don't remember who the duty sergeant was, but whoever it was told them to kind of get on it, and they said they'd run code, and he said, no, you don't need to run code, but just get on it. Something of that nature, paraphrasing.
And it's on the dispatch log that yours has that great spreadsheet, and it's on the Manitowoc Calumet dispatch log when they instituted it, and they had it up for quite some time. So, and I just find that interesting. Now, I did find out that there is another Manitowoc County quarry pit in that area, and that area is there's also a Manitowoc County Highway Department building near there, and the Manitowoc County Highway Department is a subset of
the Sheriff's Department.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right. So they answer to the cops. And the cops would have access to that. So like if you're running a route, you're not going to go back to the sheriff's office. Let's say you're on patrol, right? You're on a 12-hour shift and you're running that part of the county. You're not going to drive back to the sheriff's department to take lunch. You're not going to drive back to the sheriff's department to go to the bathroom. You're just not. You can't leave the county open like that. You have to patrol it. So I believe it's highly likely they had a little office there. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh, I'm sure they did.
Whatever.
Probably a couple of computers, some terminals, and
and
various
a little
things
room to stick a suspect in while they did, the quick paperwork, or figured out they were going to cut them loose or bring them in.
It's very possible.
Yep. And that was never brought out, never discussed, and they're very tight-lipped about it. They act like that's not how it works. I find all of that very interesting.
Mr. President says, can you get to 3302 Jambo Creek Road? It's actually 3302 Xander Road. With that blocked. It's 3302 Xander Road. And that area up there at Old Y and Q, I believe is that, but that's up in that area at Xander Road. It's exactly up there.
Yeah.
You can look at it on Google Earth. I know that. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure that I can answer that question. If you meant Xander Road, Mr. President, you would get blocked there. They wouldn't let you. I guess they wouldn't let you through. They don't really explain it. There's no reports talking about it. We only hear the radio traffic. That's all we have. So
It would be interesting, and it's right there where that house was for sale. And the real estate agent's name listed in the DCI report is Tom, no last name. And we know Tom Kosurik sold real estate on the side. And
well,
I just find all of that interesting.
They allegedly run these names down, and those people had moved, but that house is gone. It's been torn down, which is again really interesting. But
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Any other comments? Anybody? If not, I'm going to move on. Looks like there's another question. Yeah, I think Jambo Creek was more towards Avery Salvage Yard. Xander Road is north of that property. What, probably 8 miles, Rhonda? Something like that? 8-10 miles? You guys went up there.
Yeah, Xander is a good distance. Jambo Creek is right there by the salvage yard.
Yep.
But Xander is a good distance away from the salvage yard.
What's a good distance, Rhonda? What, 5 minutes, 10 minutes?
It's 8 or 10 miles.
More like, what's that?
It's 8 or 10 miles up there, isn't it?
Yeah, I would say closer to 10 minutes or possibly even a little more. 10 minutes for sure.
All right.
Which
and
again makes it makes it even more interesting why they would block that road off.
Yeah, I to the Avery investigation. That's the thing.
Yeah.
They wouldn't do that unless they had no alternative, right? And why would you do that if you didn't want people to know about it? You'd only do that because, one, you needed to get paid for all the man hours you're putting in over there, right? Because taxpayer money. And two, you wanted to have it on the books for some purpose.
Yeah.
Because if they didn't have to report it at all, they would have not said a word.
Yeah.
My opinion.
I just like to have any reports that were generated out of that, and we'll never get them. All right, I'm going to move on.
Okay, they'll have to make contact. They got detectives up at the command post and stuff.
Hello.
They'll have to make contact with.
Hello.
Hi, it's Eric there.
He just left. Hang on one second. Do you have your cell or ours? He has. He's on cell 323-1441. You can call him. He just walked out the door.
Super. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.
Hello, you have reached 553-8502. No one can make it to the phone right now, so if you could leave your name, number, and a brief message, we'll return your call as soon as we can. Thanks. Bye.
Hey, Mike, Todd calling again. I don't know if you're out of town or anything, but I was just calling for second shift for the midnight or tonight on the 6th. It's about 10 after 2. I'm going to keep checking with guys, but if you get the message, give me a call back. Thanks. Bye.
We are unavailable to take your call. Please leave a message. Thank you for calling.
Hey, Kirk. Todd calling. Just looking for some security tonight. I realize you're going on town, but Chris said you might work on the 6th, either 4 to midnight or midnight till 8 a.m. I'm at 4224. It's about 2:15. I'm going to do some more checking, thanks. Corey?
Yeah.
Hey, Todd calling.
Yeah.
Still doing some checking here, second shift, 4 to midnight.
Tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't. My wife's at the football game.
Oh, okay. I didn't know what you all had said this morning.
Oh, I was a little tired too, but yeah, she's gone at a game, so I have the kids today.
Yeah, and ching, passing it.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
I haven't had overtime phone call in a long time, and here I got to pass it up.
2 of them.
I know.
All right.
You can hide here. Thanks, so.
Bye. Night.
What's that?
Hi, it's Todd there.
Hello?
Hi, it's Todd there.
Oh.
TC.
Hey.
4 to midnight?
What's that?
4 to midnight?
No, thanks.
No?
No. Appreciate the offer.
All right.
Thanks. Bye.
Hello?
Hi, is Mike around?
Nope, he's not here right now.
Okay, Todd calling from work. I was just wondering if can I get a hold of him? Or
Driving bus?
Oh, he's driving bus tonight.
It's like, okay.
Packer game.
No, it's
Casino run.
him and going to church.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
He will be home probably. Do you need him right away, Todd?
Well, I just want to run something by him. I didn't know if he went. I got some security I'm trying to fill.
He will be home like after 5 o'clock.
Oh.
You want him sooner than that? You could
No.
call him. He's probably sitting in the bus.
Oh, okay. What's his cell?
323-3047.
Oh, you're sure?
I'm going to look right now.
Well, I got it here somewhere too. I'm sure.
I think that's what it is, though. 323-3047. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'll give him a call.
Bye.
Bye.
Available at this time. Please try your call again later. All sales reported.
Having some real problems getting security.
Do you? He out, or you got a cell phone, or should I page him? I don't want to.
He was going to the grocery store, so he may be out.
Okay.
But I had the cell phone, so yeah, I guess the only alternative would be to page him.
I got 4 to midnight or midnight till 8. Would he be interested in one of those?
I'm gonna say maybe midnight to 8, but I'd have to ask him.
Okay, I'll page him.
Okay.
That's all right.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
Bye. Yeah, jail. That's a grave. Lieutenant Erman.
Midnight to 8, kind of a shift is that?
Yeah, jail. That's a graveyard. That's a tough shift to work. I used to work it all the time.
Yeah, I know. I worked 11 to 7 now.
Christmas is coming.
I got that taken care of.
8 hours overtime. You can buy a new arrow to replace the one you use.
If I could split it, I would. I can't. Self.
Okay.
I got training Tuesday, training all day Thursday.
Oh, man, look at like your path. You could almost catch up to me.
Did you work all day yesterday too, I suppose, on this?
Sure. Tomorrow.
Tomorrow you're working 4 to noon or what?
No, I'll be in here earlier than that. I don't know what I'm going to be working. Oh, no, I won't be in. It'll be later than that. I don't know. I'm going to come in about 6:30, and I don't know how long I'll be here.
I suppose right now they're only still an 8-hour shift.
Well, I could actually split it. I could have morning shift come in 4 hours early, but I was gonna staffing it. I'd just as soon fill at 8, but so we don't gotta be shuffling cars all night long. But
is it for security up there, or what?
Yep. There's the command post, and you'd just be hanging out in that area. We got like 3 or 4 command posts up there. We got our ambulance. We got state. We got city. We got Calumets. We got everything up there.
Okay. I'd be willing to do like a 4 to 8 or something. Midnight to 8.
Yeah, that's a long pull.
That'd be tough.
Okay.
So if you can find somebody from one and send me a call back or whatever you want to do. If you just want to fill 8, I understand.
Yeah, well, I paged the LT, but he hasn't called me back yet. He was out shopping, so I'm going to give him another page here, otherwise I'll split it. But then I know that one of the morning guys, Clay, said he'd come in, and then actually that would only be 4 hours OT. We could spare him on the morning shift, but I'll see how it'll play in effect.
Then you just use him up there for a full 8.
Yeah, except he's got training tomorrow at 8, so that'll be kind of, but I'll probably be able to get him out of there before 8 o'clock.
Okay. So just let me know on the 4. 8 would be nice, but...
Yeah, no, I got other arrangements made if I'm going to split it, Jason, so...
Okay.
Sorry, man.
No, that's right.
I thought you'd give you a shot at it, but we'll catch you later.
No, I appreciate it. I don't know how that works with vacation
maybe,
time either.
Well, no, tomorrow midnight starts the new day.
So
you got vacation. You got vacation today. Midnight tonight starts your next day.
Okay.
Midnight tonight starts your day off.
Okay. My regular day off.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Very good.
No go?
No.
Okay.
All right. I'd like to, but...
No problem.
Thanks.
Bye. Lieutenant, call you on your cell? Lieutenant Herman.
Hey, Todd, just checking in. How's luck you're having?
Can I call you on your cell?
Sure.
I'm on another line here.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, bye. John, Todd calling, just to let you know what's going on. Hornick will be in at 4 o'clock. He'll take whatever vehicle is down here. If he takes 40 or 49, whatever, tick car or whatever, and relieve somebody up there.
Okay.
And then Bilky will be in at midnight to head up there. Shutter's aware of it, because I had mentioned, if he needs something or if you need something, he's kind of got Hayes running around up there, and he'll maybe just hold him over.
Okay. You're going to write that all down so the night shift commander can see it in case they don't get in until later?
Yes, I got Hornick 4 to midnight at security on at Avery. Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
Thanks. Bye.
We're being transferred to the attendant.
Voice messaging. Hi, you've reached the voicemail box of Officer Peter O'Connor with the Manitowoc County Sheriff's Department. Hi, you've reached the voicemail box of Sergeant Scott Sanglock with the Manitowoc County Sheriff's Department. He is unable to take your call at this time. Please leave your name, telephone number, and a brief message now.
Hey, Scott, Todd calling. Just so you know, as you can see on the schedule, Hornick came in early. You'll be working security at Avery from 4 p.m. till midnight. Have Tom Bilkey coming in at midnight to relieve him, so then Hornick can resume normal patrol, take his break or whatever. And Bilkey will be working roughly till 8 a.m. out there on security. They may hold over Kevin Hayes or one of the afternoon shift guys till till 10 o'clock or so. Just leaving you a voicemail because the lieutenant, just in case he ends up getting tied up and sign, he won't be able to pass it on. But it shouldn't affect the shift too much. I saw you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with Hornick, so you should be at 5. But I think Hornick will be out there kind of on his own from around 8 till midnight, so probably won't be able to pull him. That's about it. Thanks. Bye.
Hi.
Sure, Smart.
Hi.
That's good.
We needed flashlights, and I called Kirk and said to take them. It was okay to take them out of SWAT, but he wanted them logged. I did not write them down anywhere. I don't know if you guys have whatever, an equipment log or something, but 2 of them went up to Avery Road. Orth had one, and Hayes has one.
Okay. Oh, the flashlights?
Flashlights, yeah, just the regular.
The ones in the shift commander's office.
What's in there? I have no idea.
There's a rack of 5 of them up here.
Those are up there, but Orth lost the one that belongs in 62. So Hayes was asking for a flashlight, so we needed flashlights, so I called Kirk. He said we could take a couple out of SWAT, but he wanted them logged. So Orth went into the SWAT trailer and took 2 flashlights.
All right.
One Orth had, the other one Hayes has.
All right.
Okay?
Yeah.
I assume one came back with Orth, but I don't know where that is. But that's where they were. He just told me to log it somewhere. I'm going off. I'm just telling you that's where they were. That's where Hayes should be coming back with it.
With the other one?
Yep. I think Hayes has. They both had SOS on it. I'm trying to think if Hayes has 1 or 2, but either way, he has one of them, and I told him it came from SOS, so he should be returning it tonight.
All right.
Okay?
Okay.
All right, thanks.
Thanks.
Bye.
Jack 61.
Welcome to the
That's Doc.
Isn't it ironical that they're cracking the shits about not logging torches, and they didn't take any photographs of the burn pit on November the 8th?
It's nuts.
And here they are crying like a bunch of 2-year-olds about making sure that they log in.
Did you hear him sigh?
Oh God, yeah. Absolutely ridiculous.
It's like tripping over dollars to pick up nickels. I swear to God. Yeah, I noticed that. And he said they're having this kind of is a running theme throughout at least a few days, actually pretty much every day, getting security coverage. And these people are getting overtime, I mean, I understand about having time off, but yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, this raises a really interesting question, because I think it was either in the pre-trial or the trial, there was a lot of commentary regarding security around the Avery salvage yard. Because remember, they put officers, I think, around 4 points of the Avery salvage yard, but it tends to suggest that maybe there were time periods where the entire property was not properly secure. Wouldn't that
I'd agree
be
with
interesting?
That. Yeah,
That's
because they didn't have enough coverage.
Yep, correct.
And the quarry. And the deer camp. Yeah, I agree.
Correct, because there were multiple access points. And I remember reading some of the testimony in which they actually discovered a journalist trying to get onto the Avery salvage yard, and they had to stop that person and turn them back. So there were definitely individuals trying to get access to the property.
Oh, yeah.
Very, very interesting.
It is. Yeah, this whole deal about overtime, I get it. I worked so much overtime, I can't even, in my life, I can't even, it's mind-boggling. There was this period I worked, this is way back, I worked 51 days straight. Some of those days were 16 hours. Many of them were 12. In fact, most of them were at least 12. It's insane. So I understand people not, just jumping up and down to say, hey, I'll take that overtime, because there comes a point, it's just not worth it. It's just not. You can't even breathe, So anyway, before we start back, there was a question about when queso was given the lead, and if these calls are before or after. This is after. queso was given the lead in this case on the afternoon of November 5th. And that's not to say that Manitowoc wasn't involved, because they clearly were heavily involved. They were everywhere. But having to have a queso officer as a babysitter is just the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Anyway, all right, let's move on. Hopefully we'll get into some more calls that are not somebody calling to get overtime, but that's where we're at, so let's move on.
That's what calling.
Hello. You have 2 unplayed messages. Press Friday, October 28th, 12:02 p.m. Message kept. 3:14 p.m.
Hey, Scott, Todd calling. Just so you know, as you can see on the schedule, Hornick came in early. You'll be working security at Avery from 4 p.m. till midnight. Have Tom Bilkey coming in at midnight to relieve him, so then Hornick can resume normal patrol, take his break or whatever. And Bilkey will be working roughly till 8 a.m. out there on security. They may hold over Kevin Hayes or one of the afternoon shift guys till till 10 o'clock or so. Just leaving you a voicemail, because the lieutenant, just in case he ends up getting tied up, he might be able to pass it on. But it shouldn't affect the shift too much. I saw you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with Hornick, so you should be at 5. But I think Hornick will be out there kind of on his own from around 8 till midnight, so probably won't be able to pull him. That's about it. Thanks, bye.
Message discarded.
Tom. No, Tom.
45 and 66 are still up there?
No, 66 is back.
Oh, no, that should be back. Do we have any squads?
Hi, this is Lieutenant Shaham's Greg around?
He was. Give me 1 second. Greg?
Hi, Gary. Hey, got you 3.
Excellent. Excellent.
Captain Misc, Officer Warren, and Engelman.
All right. Mike's coming on.
Yeah.
So.
That kind of surprised me, but he's not doing anything tomorrow, so.
Sounds good. Sounds good. You told him to dress appropriately?
Yes, I did.
All right.
I got one other officer to talk to you guys about that.
Okay.
They've been notified they'll leave here by 7:30 and should be out there shortly thereafter.
Thank you very, very much, Gary.
You're welcome anytime.
All right. Bye-bye.
Chris, would you write up that information on the gentleman up there?
So the badge available.
Hello?
Jason.
Yeah?
Hey, Scotty.
Yeah.
Hey, Greg wanted me to give you a call, tell you to dress appropriately for the weather.
Okay.
All right, he says, your uniform, just try to have at least a badge handy when you go past the outer security.
Okay, so you said no uniform? I was kind of guessing.
No, dress appropriately for the weather.
Yep.
You know, if you got, like, boots, because it's wet out there.
Right.
You know, something that's going to keep your feet dry, hat, gloves, that type of shit.
Okay.
Okay, good?
Thank you.
All right, later, awesome.
Yep. Bye.
Hello?
Hi there.
Hi.
There's nothing scheduled for tomorrow, right?
No, why?
I'm going to do a turnaround and be here at 7 a.m. to do some searching.
Okay.
Okay?
They haven't,
Nope.
any clues?
Nothing really more. You know, now it's just looking, but they need people to walk the property right now. All that stuff, and they're trying to get people to do it, so.
But there's no more.
No, nothing yet. No break in the case, no.
Hmm?
No break in the case yet, no.
That's too bad.
Yeah, I know. That's why we're going to go looking.
Is the blood samples back?
Nope, not yet. Okay.
Mm.
All right. See you later.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
See you later. Bye-bye.
Just right quick, I'll just leave this comment, and if you guys can want to comment on it, that's fine. If not, I'll just move on. But this is the 6th. They're planning on the search teams. So now we're forming the 5 search teams that were formed, A through E. This is for the 7th. Keep that in mind. And he's talking to whoever this officer was that he just called, or this person. I'm sure it was an officer. So just keep that in mind. And the call before that was Jost. Dress appropriately. Boots, cap, blah, blah, blah. Just have a badge handy.
These are the notes that are so weird, right? Those are the search teams you're speaking of.
Yeah.
Restage Cuss Road.
Yeah.
What else is written on there? There's like a few. Those were another interesting deep dive for sure. But yeah, that is interesting. And and I'm gonna you had said earlier that sometimes overtime is just, you've had enough of it. I
Yep.
find it interesting how many people blew them off. They didn't
Oh,
want to
yeah.
touch it with a 10-foot pole.
Yep.
Like, all the money in the world. And these guys aren't really working, if how do I say this? If you look at the logs, the Avery salvage yard logs, they're literally on the property, 5-10 minutes, maybe a couple hours. So this is not hard work what they're
No.
doing.
Security?
It's
Absolutely not. It's boring as It'd be
no.
boring as hell. I'm not just basically just watching. You don't have to do anything.
Yep. And they don't want any part of it. And I find that very interesting. Those are the people, if ever somebody was going to give any information, I think it's the people who didn't want to touch it with a 10-foot pole.
Well, I will say this. I worked with a lot of people over the years that they didn't want overtime ever. They just weren't interested at all. I mean, there were situations where, overtime was required. It was forced. There was no choice. But if they had a choice, they wouldn't work it. They're just not interested at all. They've got plans outside of work. What they made was enough for them, and and I get that. But at the same time, I can't entirely disagree with you. So, Rhonda, looks like you got a pretty good combo. Oh, Doc, go ahead.
I was going to say, can I make the comment? Who's the one that said there's no break in the case yet?
I think this is Herman that's on the phone. That just happened to whoever he's talking to, which I'm not sure who it is, but that was Herman. I'm pretty sure, or Simon.
Yeah. Would you regard finding a bone fragment in the grass on November the 8th break in the case?
A huge break in the case.
Yeah, huge, isn't it? Interesting, right?
Yep. Very interesting. And the more I've thought about it, we talked about the photos that Reese took, and every day he took a bunch of pictures except for the 8th and the 9th, and I found that highly, highly weird.
Trooper Reese is an independent party, right? He's basically been tasked to go around the Avery salvage yard and take photographs of everything, right?
Yep, that's right.
So you wouldn't want him snooping around the burn pit while it's being, in air quotes, processed, right? You don't want in situ pictures, and that's exactly what we don't.
Exactly, and whatever happened at in the quarry on the 9th, the Sipple was involved with. I don't know. I just think that given as you said, he was tasked to do this, to put in these photos along with all the measurements that they use with a geodometer, or however you pronounce that. That nothing that we have so far is from the 8th and 9th. Those are dropped.
And remember the photograph that I showed yesterday of the guy standing right next to the burn barrel, holding the stick. So he was
That's right.
definitely there taking measurements right on November the 7th.
Absolutely. That's why I find it so strange. We have every day but those two. They're left out. And I don't get
Yep.
that. So I don't know. Hopefully we can get them with that request. All right. Rhonda, it looks like you had some pretty good conversation going in the chat. Anything you want to comment on?
We're just kind of going back and forth about Xander. I double checked my maps, and it looks like it was about 6.8 miles between Xander 3302 Xander and Jambo Creek Road. And then at Jambo, and it is kind of a straight shot. You can, get off of those back county roads or street roads, whatever they are, and you can get a straight shot from, I can't remember what the name of the street is now, but anyway, it goes down to 147 where Jambo Creek Road was. And it was about, I said 10 minutes for sure, but we did make a lot of stops in between places looking for different things. So I'm going to say my memory is off because of that. I just, making stops and taking.
Yeah.
Go
Do
ahead.
you have the map? Do you have the map pulled up? I feel like it's Highway BB.
It's Highway B County Trunk.
Okay. So yes. So if you take that and Q, and doesn't that road run straight to 147 right by Cuss and Manitowoc County Quarry?
It goes right straight down to, if you take that road, the trunk road, it takes you right down to 147. And then from 147, you can get to the salvage yard and, or Avery
Jambo.
Road and Jambo Creek Road. It doesn't run directly into Q though, as far as I can.
I'm gonna have to look it up again and see, because there is a road, if I remember correctly, like where the roadblock was, because the roadblock was from like BB or Highway B on one side of Xander, and then the next it was like a 2-mile straight line. Above it, that was the thing. The roadblock was even above Xander, one up from Xander. If you go, is Xander north of, so go north of Xander. What's that next road?
The next road north of Xander is W County Road BB. Yeah.
Okay.
That's
so
the next one north of Xander.
So here's what's weird. That's where the roadblock was. They put it there.
Makes no sense to me.
No, and build it to the Avery investigation. And the only thing that makes sense is if they were trying to contain that Xander Road. And then, so they blocked traffic, and then they blocked it. It's like they put up a friggin' big ass square.
Yeah, like a big, yeah.
And it encompassed Avery Salvage Yard, which makes sense, but it also encompassed Xander Road, which makes no sense.
No
Which
sense.
is 6 or 7 miles away. I mean, what the hell? I don't get it. I really don't.
And there's no narrative about it at all.
No.
Except for that little report, that GCI report, where the people live out of town, a real estate agent named Tom, no last name given, and it's not germane to the investigation. Yet, in the periphery, we have Martinez running around. I think he was either known to frequent, there was like a trap house, that's what they call it now, and daggum it, that was like right next door where he was known to hang out. That's in his report when they finally arrested him.
Yeah, I know that they looked for him at 2 locations, if my memory serves.
and he was ended up, which Sherry Pontillo knows this information much better than me. So they looked at him right next to 3302 Xander Road, and then they ended up picking him up at, of all people, Terry Schindler's, and Terry Schindler's rental property, if I recall correctly. And Terry Schindler is Zipperer's grandson's daddy that had the car for sale.
That's interesting. Yeah, Schindler had
And
a lot of. He had a pretty lengthy.
Yes, massively long rap sheet. And he's also linked to the Pam Claflin murder, which I firmly believe Randall Matea was wrongfully convicted of that. And who was in charge and who was, who played a big role in doing that? Oh, Tom Kasurik.
Yeah. Old Tom.
Yeah, you can't make it up, man. Can't make it up.
It's like a bad Hollywood B movie.
It really is.
All right, let's move on. Unless there's Doc or anyone have any other comments?
No, good.
Okay. All right, let's move on. See if we can get through this one.
Sheriff's Department. Could I talk to Kirk Bethler, please?
I'm afraid he's on his days off.
Oh, he's off tonight. Okay.
Yes.
I'll try calling him at home then. Thank you.
Yep.
That was weird. What the hell?
Yes, Department.
Scotty.
Yeah.
Okay. Jeff's out there. He's the only one out there now.
Yeah.
He's in 62.
Yep.
He was 45 is also out there. He was given the flashlight out of 45, and I have the SWAT flashlight with me. I also have 62's fire extinguisher. I had to use it today at 10:50. What do you want me to do with it? Take it to the department, or I'm going to be going to the North Pump to fill up this car and drop it off at the fire station? I don't know if they're up at all.
If they're up, go ahead and they can fill it. That's cool. Other than that, just bring it in, so we have to do it in the morning. Play that one, see if you see lights or something that they can fill it. That's cool.
If I see lights, I'll stop in there. Otherwise, I'll bring it in.
Yeah. Just play that one with what you got.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
Later, man.
Bye.
Hello?
Hi, you sleeping?
What's up?
Oh, no, it was just, I got you kind of short earlier because I had a bunch of people in the office and stuff I needed to get shit going, so. Okay, I just was going to check in.
Anything new?
No, they're just, everything's got to be searched by hand now. Everything. So, I mean, they're calling in everybody. They had like 100 people out there today doing a bunch of stuff. Now they got to go check. That's all just for the stuff on the property. Now they got to go check the property. So Greg was just like, man, he said, I can't get anyone to come in. He says,
So you're going to sleep for 3 hours and go back in?
Yeah, I'm going to have to. I mean, literally, they're literally just sending out an all call, to surrounding counties, trying to get people in. Because Calumet's running thin. City of Manitowoc was out there all day today with just as many officers as they could spare. Tomorrow, Two Rivers is going to try to send as many officers as they can. And they got guys going, I mean, literally showing up at, 7 o'clock in the morning, the detectives, and they're just leaving around 8, 8:30. And they got to do it all over again. They got to do it all over again, all over again. So they're kind of looking for.
Too bad.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really say. I mean, like I said earlier, I said, you know what? If they were just wanted to check the property, I'd say no, but they haven't found the body yet. And I'm like, okay, how can you say no to that?
Yeah.
I can't. You feel bad for the family. So like, yeah, I'll bite the bullet and get my ass up and set up beer.
Okay. Now I have my mom and dad pick her up from daycare then.
Yeah, I'll take the car seat out.
Okay.
And that stuff. But yeah, I just can't say it. I just feel bad.
Okay.
So they found.
Okay.
Okay, so that's really all the news that they got.
Okay.
All right, man.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
6-2.
Who's this?
Morning.
You know what car they want me to use to come up there, Jeff?
I have no clue. I would guess a good car. Squad 45 is up here right now, and no one's assigned to it. It was left here by Orth.
You're leaving when I get up there? Or?
That's what I understand.
Well, otherwise I'll just bring, I think, 63s here. If you want to just take that one back, I'll just keep my car then. Because I'll need it for the day anyway.
That's fine. Whatever you want to do, Tom.
All right.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Alrighty, that is the end of this particular call, 11-6. And, the next call is, like I said, I'll pull it up here. I'm not going to play it, but I'll show you how long it is. Just a second. As you can see, it's 2 hours and 21 minutes, and we're almost at 9 o'clock. I'm not going to start it because we'd be here till 5 o'clock in the morning. It's pretty long. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I clearly have picked it up. This complete flavor change of the calls from where they started back on 11-3 to where we are now on 11-6. Whatever time, it's clearly pretty late at the end of that call. So I don't remember. Let me see about what notes I've got written down about this call. I don't really have anything. I'll take a few more notes before we go play this one. I'm gonna say next time. I can't say for positive that this is what we'll do, but likely we'll be just continuing on until we get to the end of these miscellaneous calls. Because some of them are interesting. Some of them, we went through that whole range of trying to find overtime for security, but it is what it is. It's what we got. So anyway, let me turn this off. There we go. So discussion about Xander Road, I think is really interesting. We can't put anything to it because we don't have anything. Just a few calls about blocking it, and that's a little bit of a mention in the DCI report, and that's pretty much it. And we're left with just holding the bag. It's kind of like, it's actually worse than what we have with the dogs in many ways, because we don't have any reason at all what they're doing at Xander Road, blocking the road off. We know no clue. At least with the dogs, they have a purpose. Whether what they did with it was terrible, but that information.
That's actually interesting you bring up the dogs, because I wonder if they took the dogs there. Like, do we have any evidence that shows that they didn't take the dogs anywhere other than Avery salvage yard? Did anyone testify that was the only place they were used?
Doc can answer that better than I can.
The dogs went to several locations. In fact, in the reading with the crew, we read out that a group of cadaver dogs were sent to another location. I think I'll have to double check it, but yes, the dogs definitely were used off the Avery salvage yard, which is very interesting in itself, right? So they did go to different locations. It's in the report by Julie Kramer.
I'll have to take a look at that, because.
And she's the only one that testified. Is that right, Doc?
Mm-hmm.
Limited testimony.
She's the only dog handler that testified. As far as I'm aware, Sarah Fausk did not testify, nor was there really any mention about the bloodhounds or Loof. No, nothing at all.
I find that highly interesting that, and Kratz did that with intention. I'm sure of it. He didn't want that. He didn't want the jury's attention anywhere near the quarry, Cuss Road, Mitchell's Quarry, nowhere except the Avery salvage
Zippers.
yard. Zippers. Well, I don't think they went there, but yeah.
That
He didn't.
whole
He didn't want them thinking about that. There's no way.
and it just it I firmly believe that the crime scene had to be Avery salvage yard because of two reasons. One, because of the jail calls to Jody. Their timing really limited any narrative that they would try and introduce that occurred away from Stephen's property. And two, if you move the crime outside of the Avery salvage yard, then you open the door to other potential suspects. And they could not afford to go into her personal life to prove that it wouldn't be anyone. Right? So she came to the salvage yard and she never left. But everything says that's not what happened.
Well, the interest, if I could just butt in for a little while, I found the document. Basically, this is Julie Kramer. She basically said that there were 3 cadaver dogs. They were dispatched to the Marley property on CTHQ just outside the village of Larrabee to check some of the ponds and a hunting club location. Now, that doesn't sound like the Avery salvage yard to me, right, guys? What the hell are they doing there?
Yeah, good question, Doc.
So they checked ponds. Yeah, they checked ponds, buildings, and a wooded area. No alerts reported. So something must have drawn their attention to check that spot out. Could have been a tip. Could have been a tip that they were checking out.
Just pulling up Xander Road here before we get off and end this particular podcast because we've done this before. I love Google Earth Pro. I just love this app. God,
It a very handy tool. I read somewhere. Go ahead.
I was going to say it is very handy.
I read somewhere that they have images like that they still haven't released.
You mean like satellite images?
Yes, historical images. I always found that interesting.
You can look that up in Earth Pro, and I usually try to do that whenever I'm looking up something historical, just so I can get a better idea of time frame.
Because it sure would be nice to have like October 31st around between 1 and 3 p.m. in Manitowoc County, Wisconsin.
Yeah, it doesn't go quite that detailed, but usually you can get in fact, Jack, if you go up to the top there, where it has the little ribbon, I don't even know what let me see what it's called.
Oh, for the historical data?
Yeah. And then you can choose a time frame. For instance, the one I have right now happens to be for this month. But like if you want to go back to 2005, you only get kind of a date range sometime in September, I think. Yeah, September 2005.
This is showing current July 2023.
Right. So I just took it back to September of 2005 is the closest you can get in 2005. But in a situation like this, where you're looking at kind of, I don't want to say desolate, but like there's no industry around or anything to speak of out in Xander, it's pretty much the same. If that makes sense. So I don't know. Yeah, that's at least that's what I'm seeing on mine. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, this is I think it says December. It's really small type, and I can barely see it. Yeah, it says 12
Yeah.
2005.
So I've
Oh,
heard
you
that
can
they
you can
have,
get to September. So anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
yeah, I've heard that they have images that have not yet been released.
Oh,
That, yeah, that's kind of what I meant by that. But yeah, and I've noticed that the historical images, not all of them are very I guess because, technology has improved, they're not the greatest imagery.
Oh yeah, technology has vastly improved in the last 10 years from the satellite imagery. But I do know in 2016, early 2017, a group of us did try to find some satellite that may have taken other photos that weren't necessarily available in Google Earth. And I know that someone said they found something, but the cost was ridiculously high. There's no way we could have paid for it. No way.
Yeah. Yeah, we need somebody like Anonymous to do his hack thing, right? And just send it over. If you're listening, that'd be great. He's probably got a code running anytime his name's mentioned. We're trying to help 2 innocent men get out of prison.
Trying to find the salvage yard and all that, but I'm not seeing it right away. Anyway, I just wanted to pull this up, just giving an overview of Xander Road and where it's at in relation to. But that's a project for another day. I'll grab some images when we're offline, and we can pop them up.
If we can get like the roads that they're talking about in the calls, and if somebody has those roads isolated, in a document somewhere, all the different locations they wanted blocked off, I can map it out.
Yeah, I tried. Okay. I did a Reddit post. Remember, Jax, when I went down this rabbit hole, I did a Reddit post on it. And it's quite funny. It's so funny because I did my horrendous mapping because I have yet to master the art of using Google Earth. And I think a day before or a day after I made the post was when Yora's had introduced his interactive map, and it just put my poor map to shame. It was pretty funny. But I'll try and find that post, Rhonda, and I'll send it to you because it's got the actual the dispatch log that shows, because I'm pretty sure it was Jost that, or no, it was Orth. If I remember correctly, it was Orth that was sent to handle the roadblock, right? Does that sound right, Jax?
I think so.
Yeah, it was a Manitowoc guy. I think it was Orth. And it just makes no sense with their narrative. And it wasn't like they were searching. It wasn't like this roadblock was at the time that they, according to the DCI report, were conducting their investigation of the for sale sign. And see, we haven't even talked about the for sale sign. That's the whole point about this, right?
That's right.
That there was this for sale sign that was clearly staged on Stephen's computer desk. It's the only item of evidence that links their quote suspect to their quote victim. And yet there's no urgency to make sure that he didn't or someone else didn't take her and place her there or draw her there, or you know what I mean? It's
Hey,
just very
Doc, while I got this pulled up in this Mitchell's query over here,
Yep.
we don't have coordinates, do we? There's no GPS coordinates as to where Ertl.
Not as far as I'm aware, but that's where the blood and the tissue was found in Mikkel's quarry, and that's where he went with his team and he dug. Remember, about 6 feet into the ground
and sifted
and sifted. 3 cadaver dogs hit on that material. And the cadaver dogs were called back to that area one day after, and they didn't hit. And that's because Ertl had removed the scent source.
That's right. But they were hitting hard prior to that.
But it was only animal flesh.
According to Cohen, it wasn't human. Correct.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
No. Oh God, no.
So I was too far. I wasn't over far enough to the west from 3302. So
yeah,
I'm not.
I was trying to help you. But...
No. Yeah, I know you were. I'm not familiar enough with Google Earth to plot. I know there's a way to plot. Maybe I can play around with it and plot from this area up to Xander Road just to see what we can see. It's just interesting. We can't really, it's a rabbit hole. We can jump in and look around. We can't do shit with it. Absolutely nothing. Not yet.
Mr. President really wants to see Stengel and Xander, which is where I guess the Barb's car was burned out.
What's the name of the road?
Stengel. Stangel.
I think I can find Xander Road this time. No.
Oh, okay. Okay, I never noticed that before. All right, I have a picture of it. What do you want to know about it, Mr. President?
If you got a screenshot, you can pop it in the open mic text and I can put it up on screen. I'll turn this off. This is
Stengel is just west of 3302, he said.
Yeah. And it's like that's where and we haven't even mentioned Paul Metz and the cows either. So, which is right in that area as well. That they tried to say the smell came from Avery salvage.
Okay.
This is September 2005.
Let me turn this off and I'll pop that up.
So that's actually a really short road. Suppose they originally planted the RAV nearby to say Stephen Avery used. Oh, from like 3302. Okay.
I think that it was all something like that. Like that was the original plan, was to, like, they had the prior crime committed in that area, so he was familiar with it. He would be the logical suspect.
Returning.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, and it's kind of like like Jack said, a B-rated Hollywood thriller plot scene, right? It makes no sense at all in real life, but the fact that those 2 jail calls, one was at like 4 and one was at 9, really threw a wrench in their plans. And I just have this feeling the jails in Florida and the prisons in Florida, there is a master control switch in the guard booth that turns off all the phones in the pods that you're held in these pods, right? It's a main area with the phones, and then depending on if it's an open dorm or like a cell block, you would have like a living, I hate to even call it a TV room, which isn't even a TV room. It's very much looks like 60 Days In scenario. And then you either have bunk beds in the back of that, or you have 2-man or 4-man cells. And the phones are located in the quote TV or day room. And in the guards booth, there is a switch that they shut off. If you get rowdy, if there's a fight, if the guard don't want to deal with dealing with people fighting over the phone, they turn them off for count. They turn them off for meals. You don't get to use the phone whenever you want. There's set times, and the way they control it is they turn them on and they turn them off. And it's been like that since the 90s. Okay. So I just have this feeling somebody was supposed to shut the phones off in the girls' dorm that day. And somebody either didn't want to play ball or got busy and forgot, or I can't, can I prove it? No, but it's what makes the most sense, because if those phones would have been shut off, then Stephen Avery wouldn't have had those guaranteed calls, right? Those are really the only calls that he had that locked him to the Avery salvage yard, right? Was those 2 calls from Jody. There's no other calls that really do anything to help his alibi.
Not on the 31st, no.
Oh,
No.
wait a
Isn't
minute.
that interesting?
Wait. Didn't he call an attorney for Jody as
But
well?
that was
will
in the
be
morning.
on.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was in the
Okay.
morning. Yeah.
Okay.
He made some calls that afternoon for her too, though, and I can't remember who they were to, but I know he did.
Well, yeah, he talked to Barb. That's why they had to get Brendan involved, right? Because he called Barb's house. And so that's how they said that's how he got Brendan over there, right? But I think that's the only, and then he called Teresa back, which they said that was trying to distract from him killing her.
Oh yeah, that was supposed to be an alibi, or to cover himself. That's
But I really think, can anyone else remember any other calls? I think that's it.
He made some other call that afternoon. I just can't remember who it was to. I know that because they talked about it on one of those 2 calls. He said, "Well, I called blah blah blah." I don't remember. I have to re-listen to it. Anyway.
Yeah. It's
all right.
Just very interesting.
It is. Thank you for pulling that photo there, Jess Rhonda. Really appreciate that.
Yeah, we might have to do an actual podcast on that stuff if the people would like us to, on the roadblocks and.
Well, I mean, if we can get it plotted out, that makes some kind of sense. I mean, what little bit we've got, sure, absolutely.
I don't know what you guys mean by plotted, but
just markers, just a flag.
Yeah, you've seen some of the stuff that I've done for different things on Daniel's Daniel's case.
Yeah, just a flag.
I mean, I can do that kind of stuff.
So I'll send you the Reddit post, and I will give you what I think needs to be marked. And then Jax can give you what he thinks needs to be included. Y'all don't want me to do it because it looks like I bedazzled a map and you can't see nothing.
I mean, what I think is important are the key points that we've talked about, which would be Jambo Creek, Cuss Road, Avery Salvage Yard, 147, and then up to Xander Road.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And And where they have it listed on the dispatch narrative, where they instituted the roadblock, and then the routes from that area, from 3302 Xander Road in the roadblock area, like what's been cordoned off, how you would get to Avery Salvage
Yeah,
Yard.
which route
And
would
how-
they take it? And we can
Yeah,
talk about that, but you wouldn't necessarily have to plot that. Just as long as we have the other points marked, then we can do what we want.
Yeah, and then we would be able to see how they would go. And then, so what else is interesting is, what's her name? Dvorak. She lives right around the corner from all that. So I think we need to have her house like where we're not necessarily marked, but we need to be aware of where it's at on the map. So if we do discuss it, we can show like this is where all that shit happened in 85 and look how close it is to all this stuff. Because, Dvorak isn't mentioned, but let's be clear here. Her ass was very much on the line in this civil suit as well, because she had completely fabricated a police report saying that Stephen had been named by Ramona, what's her name?
Marcel.
But yes, right. By Marcel's mother-in-law as being in the area when a 12-year-old girl was abducted and sexually assaulted.
Basically
And
accused
Marcel,
Avery of abducting this little girl, and he wasn't anywhere around. It was a big fucking lie.
Not only was he not there, Marcel said under oath she never said that. Her mother-in-law never said that, and she surely didn't tell Dvorak that.
That's
in
right.
a police report.
Now, that was all in the deposition. They sure as shit didn't want that out in the public. No way.
No.
That was a huge lie.
Yeah. And and why is that important? That is clear evidence that Manitowoc County Sheriff's Department has no problem fabricating reports to sell a fictional story.
Absolutely.
So, and what are we dealing with here? I'm not saying Teresa isn't dead. That's not what I'm implying. What I'm saying is this narrative of a crime that it was committed by Stephen Avery and Brendan Dassey is completely fictional.
Absolutely.
They created it. And if you look at all these interviews, like the work Jax did showing how they harassed Jody, they are not afraid of saying whatever they need to say, writing whatever they need to write.
No repercussions. Nobody. There was no guard dog at the at the fence post.
Nope. There's no fear of punishment. The cops are legit the criminals in this case. And you have to wonder how many other Stephen and Brendan's has this been done to by them. You have to.
We'll never know. We'll never know. All right, we've been going for 3 hours and 15 minutes, so let's wrap up. Final thoughts. Andy, did you are you still with us, buddy? Andy B.
Hi, Jack. Yeah, I'm still here. I'm very tired.
It's like 3:15 in the morning for you, isn't it?
It's currently 2:15 in the morning. Yeah.
2. Yeah. Okay. You're 5 hours ahead of me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All interesting stuff. There was something I seem to remember about. There's a road that runs off Kew. It's west of Kew, almost. It almost kind of runs into Cuss Road as well. There was something there as well that I seem to recall. I can't for the life of me remember the name of it. But
there's white pine or something, and they picked up those 2 kids that were from Brilliant, or not Brilliant, but maybe it was Brilliant. I don't remember. They were from a high school age students they picked up over there at that area on November 7th, which was interesting.
Jeez.
But
I forgot all about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's lots of stuff to
Well, how the hell did
really
how the hell they get,
screw.
it was a haul like 40 miles or 40 minutes away from where they're from, and how the hell they get there, It is, yeah, it is an interesting, it's another rabbit hole. I don't think there's anything to it, but what the hell were they doing over there,
Yeah, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I'm tired now. So let's. Sorry, everyone. So,
we appreciate you sticking around, buddy. You're a trooper.
Okay, good night, all.
Good night, Andy.
Yeah. Susan, final thoughts.
Interesting, Jack. It's always good to re-listen to these calls. There's that one in there that I didn't remember hearing, that everybody thought it was either a drill or a journal. And then somebody came back and said it's a journal and a drill. So maybe that's where we were all listening to different things.
Yeah, that was about that wreck, whatever that involves. That's the only
Yeah.
call about that wreck that I'm aware of. But yeah, it's an interesting call, and what we hear.
I don't remember ever hearing that call. I don't know why.
I remember
I have
it, but
listened to this before.
Yeah, I remember it, but I didn't put any stock to it. So yeah, it is interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, thanks again for playing them for us.
Absolutely. Always good to do another dive off the diving board into these calls.
Right.
All right. Yep. Well, thank you, Susan.
Yep.
And just Sister Rhonda.
Yeah, thanks. Another great afternoon at you giving us an opportunity to pick apart calls, word by word and line by line, because every time you listen to something or read something, you get something that you missed the first 2 or 3 or 10 or 12 times, and that's true with just about anything. But with this case, it's really interesting. The more you learn, the more some things mean in calls that you've heard in the past or things that you've read in the past. So I enjoy doing that. And yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you for letting us do that.
You bet. Thanks for being along and throwing up the maps and everything. So
no problem.
All righty. And final thoughts, Christina?
This is the case that just keeps on giving. That Jeep call was very weird. And I'm curious about what other locations the dogs were at, and if we'll actually know that where they're saying they went is the truth. And one day this case will unravel. I have faith. Will it be in my lifetime? I do not know.
I'm with you there.
Yeah, but I believe that the truth always comes out in the end, and what's done in the dark will be brought to the light. So, but it's frustrating. It's really, it's frustrating at times that we live in a society that's supposed to be so advanced, and yet innocent people. And Stephen and Brendan are by no means are alone in this. Like Rhonda mentioned, Daniel, that poor kid over there in Ireland, Jody Jones case. Like,
Luke Mitchell.
I think about him often. Melissa Lucio, have you noticed we're not talking about her anymore? Yet she's still sitting on death row in Texas. Nicole Bacchus, that's another one. And there's
Melissa Kalukinski.
Oh, that's awful too. Darlie Routier, which that one's debatable, but I think only because the Texas authorities are much better at framing people than the Wisconsin authorities because they have more practice at it. That's just my opinion. There's a Florida case that has just got me. I think about this poor guy all the time, and that's Crosley Green. Aaron Moriarty actually did an episode on his case. It's clear that the guy that was murdered, it's clear his girlfriend killed him in a domestic violence situation. And she used the defense that was very popular in Florida in the 80s and 90s, and that was a black dude did it, and this guy did not, there's no evidence, there's nothing. And
They
the
convicted him.
Supreme Court, well, not only did they, this is the sad part, so his attorneys fought, got him out, and the state took it all the way to the Supreme Court, and they just sent his ass back to prison. And it's clear he didn't kill this guy. It is awful. It's absolutely awful. I actually reached out. One of his attorneys is that's fireworks, if y'all hear that. One of his attorneys is a professor here at the University of Florida, and I reached out to him while they were still waiting on this to see if the Supreme Court would do the right thing, and he didn't respond back. Now that he's back in prison, I think I'm going to reach out to him again and see if he would be willing to, talk to a lay person and maybe even go on a podcast and just talk about what we as people can, as citizens can do to try and wake the Supreme Court up, or, do more. It's very frustrating to feel like these people, like, I just want to know what I can do to help, because it's frustrating.
Have you watched the Netflix mini doc Take Care of Maya that happened there in Florida?
Not yet.
You need to watch it. You're going to be mad as hell. You're going to be mad.
Yeah.
I promise you're going to be mad as hell. You'll be seething it by the time you get to the end of it.
Doesn't it involve DCF?
It does.
Yeah.
Terrible.
See,
it is terrible.
Munchausen by proxy.
Yeah, I have a nightmare story that I lived with DCF here in Florida, and it is that I can't even say anything appropriate on a recording about them because it might be used against me.
Well, these people's case aren't done yet. They go back to court in September with their
Are they
civil
suing
suit.
them?
Yeah.
Good.
They're suing the
Good.
hospital. Yeah, it's a horrific case. Anyway.
I read some about it when I think you posted it that I needed to watch it. I read about like what they claim. Didn't she have like chronic pain or something?
Oh yeah. Yeah. She definitely.
Yeah.
She definitely had an autoimmune. Isn't it an autoimmune, Rhonda? Isn't that right?
I think it was in the autoimmune family. Yes.
Yeah.
I remember correctly.
And the mom was giving her the only thing that was actually helping, which was ketamine, and it did help. But it's a long story. You need to watch the documentary.
I'll
it's
watch
crazy.
it. My husband's home. Maybe it'll give us something to watch. But yeah. So other than that, just been busy. I caught a 25-pound shark last weekend. Went fishing with my daughter. I hadn't been out on the ocean in quite some time. And it was a bonnet shark of all things, which looks like a hammerhead.
Yeah.
So I haven't caught a fish in many years. And fighting a 25-pound shark is like, for me, it was like getting in the ring with Muhammad Ali and getting my ass beat for about a half hour.
Still fun though.
it was amazing. But I was sore for 3 days.
Sure.
Like the first day I didn't even move. It was I literally felt like I had gotten jumped and beat up.
Oh yeah, you use muscles that you wouldn't normally use when you're pulling in a strong fish. Absolutely.
Yeah, but it was a good time. They did it. My birthday was like the 23rd. So my
happy
daughter wanted to take me out.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Christina.
Thank you. And with that, everyone have a great week. And it was a great podcast.
Thank you, Christina. Thanks for dropping in. Really appreciate it. And Dr. Silkman, final thoughts, sir.
Just very quickly, yes, happy birthday, Sunshine Christina. I really am enjoying the calls because I believe that what we are doing, we're attacking this case at both ends. We're looking at the reading with the crew, where we're deep diving into certain officers and their activities, and at the same time, we're listening into strategic phone calls. At some point, there's got to be a crossover, right? Events had to have changed when the so-called plan came into action. And it's great that we're able to listen to these calls and also do the reading with the crew and deep diving into the burn pit that we're doing at the moment. And it's really fascinating putting the two together. So thank you so much, Jack 61. Everyone appreciates it.
Absolutely. I'm glad to do it. I think it's appropriate to do this because, as Rhonda said, we always pick up something that we may have listened to before, but it didn't really mean anything. It didn't stick. It didn't have a purpose, but now it does. Or at minimum, it raises the radar, and you have to think about it. So, yeah, the reading with the crew series with the burn pit, I think that's it's just brilliant. It really is. From what you and Everly have dug out, and we've been going through, it's crazy. It's absolutely nuts, and it's so clear to me. So, all right, everybody. Really appreciate everyone coming in the live chat and sticking around. If you like what we're doing, please give us a like, a share, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your pastor. Well, just tell everyone. Anyway, I'm gonna get out of here, have some dinner, and chill for a bit. And I will say, this has been a Foul Play production.